You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Independent Waters. My name is Zach Batista, the host of this special segment for our special collective episode. And with me, I have two guests this time. They're the hosts of How to Talk to Your Friends Without Wrestling, two of the coolest girls on the network to talk with, Amanda and Ashley. Guys, introduce yourself.
Hi.
That's Ashley. I'm and here we are.
Today we are going
to take Zach's fucking beard belt today.
Oh man, it's thick as AF right now, man. Oh my god. I wake up in the morning, it's got like a swirl in my face, and I'm like, oh god, I'm like, fuck. Oh god.
Fantastic. We'll see if I can't take it. Add it to my belt.
Your fucking wall of belts. God.
I should like set up the trophy room right here.
God, you're like a poacher. Like you just like see a belt and you're like, that's mine now. Easy.
I wouldn't have gotten Mikey's had he not been the interim champ and talked a bunch of shit.
He had to get cocky and then it just all went downhill.
Oh man, watch it happen. I was just like, I can't believe that just happened. For those who want to know, like happy hour podcast that we do every other week, where we all just kind of chill. Amanda and Mikey had a rock, paper, scissors off for the title belt of that show, and they tied 3 times in a row, I believe it was.
Or was it 4?
It was
an insane amount of times.
Enough times that me and Ashley were beside ourselves watching it happen. We were like, just flip a coin, man. You can't tie flipping a coin.
Which we did.
And Mikey lost. So all the gold went to the How to Talk to Your Friends Without Wrestling podcast.
Yep.
Oh. Anywho. All right. Anywho, we're not here to talk about my beard belt, though we could. We're here to talk about the first show of the collective, Glory Pro Wrestling.
Yay.
You two picked this, and I was actually quite curious. I was telling you before this, there were a bunch of names on this card that I was like, never heard of you before. This should be fun. Kind of what I look for when I go to the collectives. I look for like new names or like just new, I guess, promotions, just to see like what's up.
Yeah. Well, Glory Pro does always get that lovely spot that's like, hey, you're the first card of the season, I guess. And it's 11 a.m. on a Thursday. So hopefully no one from my work is listening to this. I had to watch this at work. And I was watching it live at work. And I am the Glory Pro fangirl, I think, of the group. So I was gonna watch it anyway. But
it was inevitable.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a good card. I thought it was a good show. It definitely has a little something for everyone. And
let's take a little more in-depth approach, or I guess look into this. We'll start with the first match. Myron Reed versus Carlos Romo versus Shane Saber versus Danny Jones.
Yeah. What did they call this? It was like the international
4-way international match.
Yeah, 4-way international.
This match was solid. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was a good opener, especially like you said, it was early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I need a match to like get me like splash some water in my face. And this match is pretty much what I wanted from it.
Also, I was watching at 9 a.m. I would like to remind everyone I am on the West Coast.
Oh no. I had that like during lunchtime. So I was like, I just woken up. I worked out. I'm like, all right, I'm tired. I'm ready to watch. You woke up with oh my God.
Yeah.
The struggle of a Glory Pro fan.
It's 9 a.m. for me.
Yeah,
My God.
I thought this match did a good job of showing off everybody's like strengths. Like there were some really nice spots here. Like let's see, I think Romo had the spot. He tied up Reed and Saber in like a dragon sleeper, and then he put Jones in like a scorpion deathlog, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. If you know anything about me wrestling, I love me some catch style wrestling, some technical wrestling, and I was like, that's the good shit right there.
Mm.
My notes are not nearly as awesome as yours. My notes are like, Danny Jones had a wedgie immediately.
Yep.
Like those are my notes. And then nobody could get friggin' Jones off of the top rope, and somehow Saber ended up on like hands and knees, and Romo used him as a step stool to get to Jones. That was an interesting moment.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I think the spot of the match for me has to probably be when so I think Jones had Saber in like a chokehold and they were on the apron. I was like, what are you gonna do? And then Reed just hit Saber with the cutter and threw them all off the apron. I was just like, excuse me? It is early in the day. We're starting off with something like that. Wow, okay.
Yeah, a little dangerous. And Myron Reed is pretty much a staple for Glory Pro as well. So
The one guy I knew in this match. I love me some Myron Reed.
yeah.
Man,
I didn't know anybody in this match, but I was really hoping that Shane Saber would win, and it did not work out in my favor.
No, I think if I recall correctly, I think who was it? I think Saber hit the spear on Romo, and then Reed hit him with the air raid crash, and he got pinned. Right? I believe so. I wrote down.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
I know who wins. I don't know how they win.
I because I've done this now, I think 2 or 3 times. I write down the finish of everyone's matches in my notes because I'm like, I will forget who wins 100%. I'll forget it. Their name gone. It's like poof, gone.
Yeah. There was so much wrestling this weekend that I don't even know.
Over 20 matches and counting over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're intense.
Oh yeah, this is the busiest time of the year for Independent Waters. And then I have WrestleMania season also. And yes, it's like back to back to back. And I still gotta watch Ring of Honor's card. I think tonight I'm gonna watch it after this.
Nice.
And that's gonna be like I'm gonna sit down in my pajamas, just lean back in my chair and be like stroke my beard ever so slowly, like
for as long as you have it.
Oh God, if I lose anyone that's gonna only see me with a beard is gonna look at my face and be like, what the hell happened? I have total baby face, complete baby face.
This is gonna be so fun.
I look like a boy.
A boy. Like a small child.
Exactly. Yeah. I look like I'm in my teens, not in my like late 20s, early 30s with this beard on.
Oh my God.
So what would you guys give this match grade if you could give one?
I would say it started off strong. Like, it was a strong start. I would probably give it a, what's your between a meh and a mark out?
Mark out. Yeah, there it is. That would be a high meh, as I called it one time. Okay. We just kept with that. Just like nice in the middle. For me, it was a meh. Solid. Nice way to wake me up. I was like, okay, Glory Pro, wrestling. Let's go. What about you, Amanda?
I think mine was like a meh.
Nah, it's fine.
Didn't give me all the things I wanted, but we started off strong.
Yeah, it was a nice start to the card, leading into the next match, which was Janai Kai, the Kick Demon, versus Tootie Lynn, the little blue dragon, I think her nickname is.
Yeah.
If I got that right, that's a miracle.
I know it's something with Blue Dragon.
Yeah, it was for the Midwest Territory Championship.
Yes.
And all I remember about this match is that it was very short and very technical. Like a lot of holds. And even the hold guy was like, we're starting. That grinded down the pace of this card quite a lot. I enjoyed myself. It was just...
They just remind me of Mortal Kombat characters, which seemed to help me get through the match.
Accurate, actually. Yeah. Especially Janai Kai. Janai Kai looks like a version of Shiva. Shiva? No, Shiva.
I don't actually know Mortal Kombat characters' names.
Oh my!
That this reminded me of Mortal Kombat.
Well, I as someone as myself as an avid Mortal Kombat fan, you are quite accurate.
But I feel like Janai Kai was giving me like, I don't know, Scorpion vibes, like when girls dress up as slutty versions of things. Not to say that she looks slutty, but like that kind
Yeah.
of is what I was getting out of the Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat.
Gender bent version of them.
Yeah, because Janai Kai was like not slutty whatsoever.
No,
looking at
but it was
all.
like down that vein a little smidge.
The
Yeah.
kick demon did not come down to the ring slutty at all.
No, and I'm sure she would kick my face off if I had said that.
I love Tootie Lynn. But yeah, I don't know. This match was definitely kind of
It gave me like a bit of like a whiplash. Where like we went from like a fast pace to suddenly something real slow.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, maybe you should have like swapped that a bit. Maybe I don't know. I did, however, like the way that Tootie Lynn won the match when she retained her title was the Fujiwara she used to submit Kai. Because I was like, that looked fucking awesome. Do that more.
Do that.
Do that.
I love that. Do that.
You know, there's not much really talk. It's like a lot of holds, and I was like, I'm not. It's just holds, kicks. You know, the usual what you'd expect from two technical wrestlers. It's a meh for me. You know, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's What's slower than a meh? A mark.
Well, there's okay. So it's not really been given a grade a lot. There is low meh, but it doesn't usually get there. And then there's just miss out, which is I don't watch it. It's not worth it.
Okay.
That's a grade that I've rarely given out. Like
I'm gonna say this one's gonna be a low meh for me.
Not
Wow.
dang.
I know. Not like I appreciate the wrestlers and they are technical and they are great, but overall, like it just kind of slowed pace down.
Fair. Now, next match, however, this match woke me the fuck up after like the other match like slowed me down. This match woke me the fuck up. I was like, I'm like, fuck yes. Hello, just sit up in my chair a little bit. We got
take a moment.
We had Jake something going against Max the Impaler. I knew who both these were. And when I saw this on here, this is like one of the few matches where I was like, oh, fuck yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think, well, when Amanda saw it, you weren't sure who Max, you knew who Max was.
Yes.
But I think both you and I were just like, we want this. I need to see this happen. Give it to me.
Yeah. Jake something on any bill. Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank
Love
you.
me some Jake something.
Yes.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Every day. Thank you very much. This was.
I have one line of notes that's just ooh. The whole line. As soon as Jake something came out, that's what I was writing. Just O's.
Ooh.
Just ooh.
What's his name? Something. Oh man, yeah. This is a straight up house fight. They beat the piss out of each other, and I was all for it.
Now, did you not to like fully just jump right into it? Did you see what happened to Max when they started bleeding? Because I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
Best way that I could figure this out is that it was when Max and something were like Lariat. Oh my god, this is how you know that something was lariating Max. Max kept getting back up, and then Max grabbed his hand and headbutted him in the face. And I think they just busted themselves open by accident when they hit something in the face. Though it was a happy accident, it made the match even better because Max just started pouring blood down their face, and Jake's entire face was just covered in on one half with their blood. And I was like, yes, any fucking day of the week, hell yeah.
Yes, that's exactly the result I wanted.
But I get so nervous with headbutt.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It
but
is.
I feel like this one was fantastic.
Sometimes a little bit of blood, a little bit of color just gives that match the extra oomph that it needs. And man, they're such a good fucking match. These two were just battering each other. Ending of the match was also great because Jake something has a amazing boss man slam, which he used to pick up the win. I was full on with this match. I was full sent. I was just like, yes, fuck yes. Maxine Peller. I've watched 2 Haas matches with them now, and they're both been fantastic.
Jake wins. We love a big fucking brick house winning.
Oh yeah.
If they're Jake something.
This match was like 2 monster trucks just slamming into each other, and I loved it.
This was my first Max the Impaler match. I've never seen any of their stuff.
Oh,
So this was super exciting. I fucking loved that. And surprisingly, this is the first time I've seen Jake something wrestle. Like I've been following on Instagram for like fuck a year. I've never seen him wrestle.
What the hell?
you're such a. I love you. Oh, what match is your favorite? Not important.
I'm like, I mean, if I'm completely honest, I followed Jake something solely based on looks originally.
I mean, he's a beefcake, so
Yeah. But, I like your wrestling style too, big man. So you've got a fan, a wholehearted fan now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Max. I've watched Max kind of grow a little bit on the indie scene because I saw Max pre their change to them now, where they they're they them now, and they are the Wasteland Warrior. I love the Wasteland Warrior look. I think it looks menacing, and it's very out there. Like you see Max, you'll remember Max basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
this match, what do you guys think of it?
Hell yeah.
I'm also gonna give it the hell yeah. This is a mark out for me. Like this match was, this match is really great house fight. So after that, we get yes, now I remember. We get the massive tag team championship match.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties versus Fly Death versus Alpha Omega versus the Hustle and the Muscle for the United Glory Tag Team Championship.
This was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of it. This match, the moment it started up the gate fast pace, I was like, and there goes any shot of me writing any detailed notes about this match. This is a match that if I got it with Mikey, I'd be like, oh boy, I'm going to be here for 30 minutes talking about this now.
Yeah.
I had trouble keeping up also. And this isn't even my first 4-way tag team match, because when we went to Prestige, they had one and it was all over the fucking place. Like, and same with this. I didn't know any of these tag teams.
Yeah.
So that was fun for me.
Same here.
The only one I knew was Technical Difficulties.
Oh, okay.
And that's because they've been the champs before.
Yeah, they commentary said Hustle and Muscle beat them for the belts because their manager they didn't have this time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, mysterious guy. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah. Where are you? What are you doing?
This is just, it was a bit sloppy at points, but this match is fun to watch. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where, like, you just see things happening on the screen. And you're like, yes, I know what's happening 100%. Wrestling.
Like,
wrestling is happening. That's what's happening.
A bunch of sweaty dudes are jumping around the ring pretending to fight. Yes.
Nailed it. But I have to say, I just like the people that name tag teams every once in a while crack me up. There's a tag called Technical Difficulties. What?
Yes.
It's sometimes I just Hustle and Muscle, for crying out loud. Like, I don't know. Some of the tag team names are, I feel, reaching, but maybe not making it to the mountaintop.
They got to go for something different that like puts them out of, like puts them, what's the word? Separates them from the crowd. You know, like you remember that name.
I mean, this is even the first time I've had this complaint, because me and Ashley named our tag team Ketchup and Mustard solely based on the fact that tag teams are shit.
Yeah.
And we had like red and yellow hair at the time, so it worked even better.
Tag team names, they got you on watch right now. Better come with a good tag team name.
Even though Ketchup and Mustard is horrible.
It's just a play on salt and pepper, basically.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a great group, though.
This is also where you can really tell that I don't know what was going on with the ring, but that thing was wobbly.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was real wobbly. And the only person that kind of you can see says something is Allie in the next match.
Oh yeah.
But it was making me very nervous.
Did not approve that fucking.
I was seeing those webs like the top were being wobbly. I'm like, someone's gonna fall and like hurt themselves, man.
I'm surprised Dad didn't have anything to say about that. Like, Dad concerns should have been flying out of the seam.
Like just through the roof. Like, who did this? He would show them how to fix the ring. He'd be like, I'm gonna show you one corner, you're gonna get the other three now.
Do you guys know that Dan is also the booker for Glory Pro?
Really?
Yeah. Well, Amanda knows this because I talk about Dan
I
constantly,
did
but
not know about
The
that.
reason I know it is because you told me that.
yeah, he basically runs like Glory Pro.
No, good for him. I mean, I
His
like
little baby.
I liked a lot of the booking in this. So yeah, this match is all over the place. All I've written down here is that I liked a lot of Alpha Omega. I thought that they stood out to me. Like whenever they did something, I was like, oh yeah, there's them. And Fly Def stood up because they were Cirque du Soleil personified. Like all their shit was like the most over the top, like crazy acrobatic shit that I was just like, all right, yeah, I what can I say? I love Lucha. So
Yeah.
Makes sense.
there was like a point where like they one stood on the other one's shoulders just to jump out of the ring onto everyone else. And I was like, you didn't need to do that. That was sick though.
You didn't need to do that, but I'm okay with it.
I'm 100% fine with it. Keep doing it. I'll cheer you. No problem.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary, but we'll take it. Cool.
Oh man, yeah. I have it here. Hustle and Muscle won after Hustle because I don't know their names, so I wrote them down as what they were. Hustle punched one of the members of Fly Def in the face, and then the guy who's the Muscle hoisted him in the air and slammed him into the mat, and they won.
How they did it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how that's about as clean cut as I can get it. They won. I remember technical difficulties was not happy at all.
No.
They weren't. No, they weren't.
And I'm like, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I imagine you lose because of some manager, and then you get into the next title match, and there are just two other random teams that just mess with your shit every time you try to get them. I did like that.
The worst.
Every time the two teams got in the ring, they definitely sold their rivalry between each other, and I was like, that's nice. That's a good way for someone new like me, since God knows I didn't know what the hell any of these teams had with each other.
Yeah.
I am happy that Glory Pro put in like little background stories that kind of, if you were just coming in, you had at least some impression of what was going on.
Yeah.
That was appreciated.
This match for me gets a meh.
Yeah.
Solid.
Same.
It's fun, solid, but like I wasn't going like that was off. I was like, that was a fun match. Especially
Same.
after I came down off the high of what was Max the Impaler and Jake something.
Glory Pro really roller coaster ride so far.
Mm-hmm. It actually fits really well, especially with the next match, because I love the next match. Alley Catch versus Laney Luck in a submission match, a match you never hear in any promotion ever these days. No DQs, no rope breaks. I really like this match. These two beat the shit out of each other.
This is like probably the best I've seen Lady Luck be too. Like I was very impressed by her.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her a few times before and I thought she was like okay, but I've never been super like
I see her matches and I'm like, you're good, you're fine, but like nothing like wowed me. This match, like you said, I agree. This match was also like her best match I've seen. These two, the matches, they had a blood rivalry basically between like Alley Catch being just an absolute piece of shit to her in the ring. And it definitely bled into this match very well. Yeah. Like
I love Heel Alley for sure.
Like Heel Alley's so good.
Oh my God. And then they give you the little backstory of what happened last time where she poked the ref in the eyes so she didn't submission, and oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah. And then Laney she like moved her hand out of the way the one time, and when she went to grab it, she's like, no, not again. Yeah. I also liked how these two are very clearly trying to beat the hell out of each other, but Allie was the bigger asshole in this match. Like every dirty trick that she could pull out, she did. No shame whatsoever, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I love that Allie eye gouged Laney this time. Mm-hmm. I also love that Laney had her in a submission. I thought it was going to be over, and then Allie calls the ref over and then uses him to get her off of her. Amazing.
It was awesome.
Me.
Oh man, like these two are out of the ring, like just chops, beating each other down. I think Allie like chopped a pole at one point. I was like, no, every time a wrestler does that, I can just in my hand, I'm like, fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Chops in general, we just stand there and go.
You take it, sucks. Dealing it, probably more fun.
Allie also did like a handful of my favorite things. Like she does, I don't know what it's called. I didn't hear what it was called, so I have my own name for it.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
I call it the crotch drop, where she's like up on a rope and then she just like throws her legs over the person's shoulders and like brings them to the ground. Okay. Crotch drop. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but we're calling it a crotch drop, and I fucking love when she does that. It's my favorite. So yeah, she did that, and then we did the using the ref thing, and just in general, she's a
At
badass.
one point, didn't she like pull Lainey across the pole? Why am I saying pole?
Ring
Whatever the
post?
thing is. Yeah. She like
Turnbuckle?
not the turnbuckle, but she kind of
Oh.
like it almost looked like she was trying to break her.
Oh yeah,
In
she had
half.
like her one leg
Break
in
her
her
in
arm
half.
and just like pulled
Yeah,
it back.
I
No,
hate when they do that so much.
Oh.
I know like it's probably not as bad as it seems, but holy shit, I don't like how it looks.
Oh, it's nasty. They just contort their body around the pole, and it's just like, no.
Yeah, I don't.
But at the
I'm
same time,
for-
the inner part of me, the wrestling fan of me, is like, yes, yes. Do more violence.
I must have no human decency when it comes to wrestling. I'm just like, violence.
And then I love me some violence. Oh god, violent wrestling matches are usually up there with like the ones where I'm like, yes, fuck yes, give me it, all in my
Yeah.
veins, up to my heart.
I have this little like printout of a Kirby, and he's sitting at a little table, and it just says "I crave violence" underneath it. My favorite little guy.
That's adorably vicious.
I like it. It
I-
worked.
Oh yeah, the finish of this match is fucking awesome. Love the finish.
Oh yeah, the Boston Crab off the like apron or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man. So it was like Lainey put Allie's own Boston Crab on her. I was like, the disrespect on this fucking woman right now. And then Allie flipped it on her and grabbed her in the Boston Crab. And Lainey dragged herself to the ropes. The rest like, well, there's no rope break. So I don't know what to tell you. Then Allie like just stomped on her back some more while she was like hanging out of the ropes and used the like tied her legs into the ropes and just yanked her back. And I was like, oh my god. And Lainey had to tap, and I was just like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Good shit.
It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh man. I'm torn because like I had this as a high, but I want to give it the mark out just because it was such a great match for me. But
This one's a mark out for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a mark out.
I'm giving it mark out. I've
It's
been
Alley-
swayed.
It's Alley Cat.
Yeah, it's
He can't do no wrong for me. So
I'll always love me some Alley Catch. I can thank Mikey for knowing about Alley Catch because he's been an Alley Catch fan forever now. He still has shirts when she was a cat.
Yeah.
I have a cat shirt too.
Excellent. We love us or some Alley Catch merch. So after like we said, the highs and lows of this card, we then get Grindhouse, which I didn't know who they were at first because they changed their name.
Yeah, it's really bothering me that they changed their name. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like it's so
Grindhouse
stupid.
formerly were besties in the world, and like I love that name.
Yeah.
And they're going up against the No Remorse Corpse, which is I think it's Rocky Romero and Davey Richards, I believe.
Mhm.
Again with these fucking tag team names. I can't.
Shaking her head with it.
Yeah, like
Grindhouse is actually kind of like I think Grindhouse is actually kind of cool if they weren't already besties in the world.
Yeah.
Like
I
if
like-
they weren't already established.
I like the concept behind the game of like we grind out this every day. We're like the hardest working team. I'm like, okay, that's a good origin, but like you were besties in the world, and like that's the name that I would hear, and I'd instantly be like, oh yeah, I know who besties in the world are.
Yeah.
well, they've ruined your day. Now they're called Grindhouse.
They did initially, but then they got into this match, and these two do a great job coming across as assholes. Like
Mhm.
all match, they were just little shits, flipping Rocky off the whole match. They just beat the shit out of Davey, using the ref, just every way they could possibly use to just antagonize both members of No Remorse Corpse. And I was just like, you guys are asking for an ass whooping.
How could they have beat up everyone's favorite dad? Like not even Dan the dad. Everyone's favorite dad is Davey Richards. And so they just beat the hell out of him and like
Yeah, they did. Though
so mean.
though they would learn later why you don't ever disrespect dad, because that man's strikes were great.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, you earned this. And then he had some awesome submission spots where like he got them in like an Indian deathlock and a heel hook. And I was just like, that's okay. Don't fuck with Dave Richards. Gotcha. Oh man, I love that. I liked how this really felt like a tag team match too. Like the other matches, like each team had like some like double team offense, but in this match really felt like two well-established teams that know each other well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. They did give us those vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm. There are plenty of dual offense maneuvers. Grindhouse had their classic. I almost said best in the world. They have their running knee, I think it is, and their spin kick into the corner. Love that move.
Yeah.
I love No Remorse Corps just picked. I think it was I think Davey picked at Rocky and just used him like a little battering ram with his knee up. I was just like, I love that.
Everyone uses Rocky as just like whatever tool they need. He's like a little Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trent does that too. Trent uses them for everything when they team up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hungy Vice, baby.
yeah, I just say like not to dwell on the fact they're not besties in the world anymore. I also miss the fact we did not get Savage Garden.
Mm.
Oh my god,
I missed the entrance music.
Was that their? Oh, did they? Oh, see, one match I watched, I didn't know about their entrance music. They were just in the ring when I came in, so I have no. They had another theme.
Their original entrance music is Savage Garden's God, what's it called?
is it that song?
No, not the song not the JoJo song. It's the Truly Madly Deeply.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
I went on YouTube because I was like, well, now I got to look. 379 million views.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that must be a hell of a song.
Yeah.
And they did not come out to adhere to the sadness of Ashley.
Yeah. Big sad.
We're just like over here like rest in peace, besties in the world. Name, you will be missed.
Are they going to change their little talk show on High Spots? Is it going to be called Grindhouse now?
Oh.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
I'm big
I bet.
mad.
They better not. They're just besties in the world on the podcast, and they come out and they're like, we're Grindhouse now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the match was solid. Gives a meh from me.
Yeah.
Like, it was very standard tag match in so many ways of like, cut the ring in half, watch Rocky get his ass kicked while they just taunt Dad. Dad takes his belt out, beats the shit out of them, wins.
Yeah, it's a meh for me.
Yeah, I will also give it a meh.
Now that you point out this roller coaster, that was pretty much me this whole card, because the next match I really liked, which was Dan the Dad versus Cody Lane in a loser leaves the neighborhood no DQ match.
So fucking ridiculous.
I'm about to go off.
Oh, you're about to go off. Oh, please.
No, in a good way.
Okay.
I was gonna say I had been waiting for the buildup of this match because they had been teasing it for like 2 or 3 weeks and dropping these little videos once a week. And that was what the little like vignette was in the beginning.
I love this match off that vignette.
So it was to see it put together with freaking My Way by Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. I was like, you fucking rockin' Stone Cold in this feud. Oh my God.
Oh no. Oh, there she is.
Says it's charging, but it's
not. It's My Way. I was like, this.
It was so good. And just to see them, because I used to watch when Dan used to have his Twitch channel. He doesn't really use it anymore, but Cody Lane used to be on there a lot with him and Warhorse.
Oh wow.
So it's very strange to see them like be 3 buddies just hanging out, like drinking together. And that's how I actually found out about Smack Talk Showdown, was they were playing it. And so yeah, it's very weird to see Cody like be so mean to Dan. But I was waiting for them to announce something, and I'm like, I bet you it's going to be at the Collective. And then they finally announced that it was in fact going to be at the Collective, and I was so happy that it was like a no DQ match.
This was a very fun but violent match.
It was, especially for Dan.
Yeah, I was the thing I felt. All my other matches I seen was like Dan and who was it? Oh, who's his tag partner he had? It's a woman. I don't know who she is. I can't think off the top of my head. Oh no.
I've only ever known to be with Warhorse.
Because I know because it was him and her against Gatanic Panic and a serious tag team. So I remember this match was like a complete comedy match. That's all I know Dan the Dad for. So then he comes out here and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fun match. And they just get ladders out. And I'm like, excuse me? Wait,
What?
Then they get trash can lids. I'm like, oh shit. We're just fuck it, yeah.
My favorite was commentary when Dan pulled the ladder out, and I can't remember who it was, probably Veda, who was like, oh, he probably got that from his shed. And I was just dying laughing.
Yeah.
The dad jokes were so good.
Mm-hmm.
The Oscar the Grouch stuff when they pulled the trash can out was my favorite.
Amazing. Dan, I've never seen Dan so aggressive. Like, he bum rushed Cody at the start of this match. And I was like, oh, wow, Dad's mad. Don't fuck with his neighborhood.
Yeah. Don't fuck with his neighborhood or his children.
He looks like one of my little league coaches from back comes out. I was just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Too funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually realized I knew who Cody Lane was when he was, because in the vignette, he was clothed the whole time. So I was like, who the hell is this? And then he came to the ring and I saw his tiny shorts with his long ass legs. I'm like, you're the Southern Flamingo. I remember you. You were good in the collective I watched. All I remember, he's just a pair of legs in my head. Just long ass legs.
Well, they call it the flamingo salt that he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
That thing was sick. Holy shit.
There were some nasty spots in this match. The worst one was by far the where the ladder was like set up on the corner or like on the ring post, and Cody just threw Dan like face first into it. And I was like, oh no, oh god,
didn't like that one.
And then when the ladder ended up just like in the middle of the ring, and they just like kept jumping on it or pushing each other on it, and it was just like backs are being hurt.
Yep.
Dan also usually uses his belt, and he didn't use his belt this time.
Oh, that would have been a good spot.
And I was confused why he didn't. He normally takes his belt off.
I wasn't confused. Now I am. I'm like,
what's up with that, Dan?
There were too many. Excuse me. There were too many other things to use: trash cans, ladders,
chairs, probably. I think.
Yeah. But it was good for his hardcore match because oh my god.
Yeah, and the irony that Lane lost himself the match because he went for the flamingo flip and he hit the ladder on his leg, and Dan Dad was like, well, son, let me teach you why you shouldn't do stupid wrists. Figure 4, tap out instantly.
that was gnarly.
It was. Oh, it was nasty. I was just like, it's ruthless, Dan. But I mean, if you mess with a piece of his suburban neighborhood, you will pay the price.
Yeah.
What are you guys giving this match? I mean, I feel like I know what Ashley's doing right off the bat.
I don't even need to say
it. Mine's a mark out. I like Dan the Dad a lot. And then Cody Lane won a spot in my heart through this one for sure.
I think I gave this match a high mix. I really liked this match, but it didn't like get me amped. But I was still very impressed with the fact that I'd never seen Dan the Dad do anything outside of comedy matches. So I was impressed with his hardcore chops. As they say.
Deathmatch Dan.
Deathmatch Dad.
Nice.
Okay, so then we've got yes, this is the other match on this card that I saw and knew both the contestants were and was really excited for. Josh Alexander versus Warhorse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love me some Josh Alexander matches. I love some Warhorse matches.
Ashley and I just chose this so that we could talk about our cosplay again.
Oh yeah.
Your cosplay.
Yeah. So me and Amanda have dressed as Dan the Dad and Warhorse.
That was our Halloween costume this year. And so we put pictures on Instagram and Twitter and everything.
Very nice.
Amanda looked amazing as Warhorse. She did full makeup and everything.
Oh, let's go.
I sacrificed a fucking jean jacket to turn it into a jean vest.
Oh my god. Rest in peace that jacket, I guess.
Yeah, I cut the sleeves off. I took all the pictures and I was like, fuck, I don't have a jean jacket anymore. Okay. That's okay.
Sew the sleeves back on.
Sew the sleeves back. I didn't even think about doing that, but that's actually brilliant.
Oh, it's just a vest now.
I love Josh Alexander. I also love Warhorse, so this one was a hard one.
This one was good. These two had what I described the chops as thunderclaps. Like every time it was just a fucking impact, and I was like, "Yeah, no, that's gonna be a no for me taking that ever."
Yeah,
you two can though.
chop happy for me for a second there.
There was a moment here where these two just kept chopping each other. I do remember that.
And I was like, okay. Also, Josh Alexander just seems so fucking serious.
Yep. Heel Josh Alexander is the most serious man you will ever see.
Just like so serious with your fucking ear guards so you don't get cauliflower ear, and just so fucking serious.
Oh yeah. I think if I recall correctly, that used to be like a required thing for him because something happened to his ear. And then he just kept the thing on his head. He's like, well, I mean, it stands out. I was like, yeah, you're right. There were some really, really good spots on here. Like, I love the part where Warhorse was on the top of Alexander and he like did like the clap into his ears.
Oh,
and
the bell clap. I have that too.
Yep. Bell clap, pulled out his legs from the top rope and double stomped him in the chest. It was great. Some really good double stomp spots here.
Yes.
I loved how Alexander worked Warhorse's leg this entire match. So when he finally like spiked him into the mat with the double stomp from the top, he couldn't actually get the pin because his ankle was killing him too much that he just couldn't even drag himself.
Yeah, I really thought he was hurt. I was like, is something actually wrong? Like, oh my God, I totally fell for everything.
He did a very good job of playing that. Like, I'm not going to give up. I'm the baby face, but God, this hurts so much.
Yeah.
Alexander was
fantastic job.
Alexander was classic. Why won't you just fucking die, heel?
Yeah.
Also, the thick ass slam into the apron. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
There were a handful of times where I was just like, oh, there's so much pain happening.
This match was really well done. Like, oh my God. Then there was the start of the ankle troubles, which was the ankle lock. The Warhorse couldn't walk after the match or after the match. From that point on in the match, I was like, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because it makes Alexander's ankle lock look just like Kurt Angle levels of like, you do not ever want this on your leg ever.
Credibility.
Yes.
Credibility indeed.
Storytelling.
Sorry, storytelling. Kayfabe, please.
Yeah. Except sadly, Alexander did defeat Warhorse here. I was rooting for Warhorse and he lost. He dropped him with the Tiger Driver. And I was just like, oh, Warhorse tried so hard.
Super bummed Warhorse lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was a great match, honestly.
It was a good match. It was high energy. It was fast paced. Like, it moved really well and everything. I just really wanted Warhorse to win.
Yeah, it would have been nice. But I mean, hey, he looked like a valiant baby face in defeat. So
True.
This is
I actually gave this match a mark out.
dang.
Oh.
This match was right up my alley. Heavy chops, submission, really good in-ring character work from both of them, really good selling. I'm a sucker for selling. Like, you have a wrestler that can sell an injury all match and not just forget about it. Sometimes you've got me hooked instantly.
Amanda, would you give it?
This one's a mark out for me. It's Warhorse.
I was gonna give it a high meh, but going back and like rewatching it a little bit, I probably would give it a mark out as well.
Nice. Like this card's having some good. It's literally a roller coaster. High meh, mark out. Meh. High meh, mark out. Meh.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
Dan the Dad, like, it makes sense that Dan the Dad fought and then it was Warhorse. Like, okay, we're up on the roller coaster now.
Yeah. And then we get to the main event. Brian Keith versus Mike Outlaw for the Crown of Glory Championship. That was a good match. Solid match. It was slower, though.
Yes.
Much slower than the other matches.
A lot slower. And Brian Keith was the hometown favorite. That's why they were like,
oh, this crowd booed the shit out of Outlaw. Anytime he did anything that helped him win, booed instantly. Brian Keith, anything, cheers everywhere.
So which one's the one in the cowboy getup?
The cowboy getup is Brian Keith. That's the Outlaw.
Oh, okay.
That's the bounty hunter, Brian Keith. And then you've Mike Outlaw.
He looked like such a badass.
Oh, I love Brian Keith. Looks so much.
It was such a, like, goddamn, the fucking character work out of that one. Just like full costume, So sick. So sick.
Yeah.
When it comes to the ring, he gives you this pressure, this like just impression of like that man's about to do some serious damage to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. And yet Mike Allo comes out. He's got a whole posse of people in his corner. Like he had a whole faction. I was like, I didn't even know you had this big of a faction.
Oh, it's Team Ambition. Yeah.
I was like,
That
that's
faction, like stupid huge.
Well, it's because it's everyone in Davey who trains with Davey Richards.
that was saying where they were all in jumpsuits and they all looked very young. Because I was just like, when they after spoiler slightly, Outlaw won it. But like when he wins, like he's standing in the ring and like everyone came in. I was literally like a man. I was like, holy fuck, that's a stupid big faction in the ring. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
Warhorse is actually there with them too, but he's not like part of it when they all come out in the tracksuits. He's got to keep up his appearances of his Van Halen jumpsuit. he can't be in his Team Ambition sweatsuit. So
one of the things I've written down, this match did not have a lot of flashy spots. It just more so was like a story of just two dudes fighting to the bitter end. Like Outlaw was like, I don't give a fuck if these people don't like me. I'm not losing in front of my team. And Outlaw and Keith was just like, this is my hometown. I'm taking the gold home for Texas.
I was actually really shocked that Mike Outlaw kept the belt too.
Yeah, that was a bit deflating because the crowd got me really into it and I really wanted to see Keith win. And for him to get rolled up by Outlaw, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And the crowd was pissed.
Yeah.
Booze. It's like, oh, that's unfortunate.
I think
there was only one spot in this match that really stood out to me, which was when Outlaw was on the top rope and he just grabbed Keith from the floor and he just picked him up off the floor and spinning like neck breaker off of it into like, and then he just did a reverse, like a vertical release suplex, kind of like John Moxley's thing. And I was just like, I'm sorry, what? I've never seen someone just like man mode, like, all right, I'm just gonna pick you up to the top and you'll just get suplex anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. He manhandled that man.
Oh, absolutely. Handled him. But the match was, I wish that the ending wasn't as deflating.
Yeah.
Because like I probably would have had higher marks to this match if Keith won, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel that way too. Like big same, because it just, again, on that roller coaster, and this was definitely the down.
Yeah, this was like it was like Amanda said, we hit like the peak with Dan the Dad and Warhorse, and then we're just coming down off of it now. The ride's over.
Well, the worst part is I didn't even know it was going to be a come down with the way that Brian Keith came out, and then slowly but surely we were disappointed.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, I thought this was like a solid match. It might have gotten the high meh for me if this match had like that ending. If he won it, I probably would have given it a high meh. But as it is, it gets a meh for me.
Yeah, I'm a meh.
I'm a meh too.
Yeah, I find it funny how meh for us is usually just fine. But all of us, that was all our feeling when we finished this. Like, okay.
Head nods and shoulder shrugs.
Yeah. I will say that overall, I was pleasantly surprised with how good a lot of the matches were on this card. Like, they put out a good show from a promotion that I don't really watch as often, though I probably will now, on Indy Waters with Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have like a rotation of shows, and this is like not one that has gone up on my radar yet. Somehow.
Well, it's on High Spots. Let me be my little Glory Pro promo. They upload usually within a week, I think.
Oh, okay.
After the shows, and it's all on High Spots. So
very nice.
And Dan does a show, kind of an interview show. He hasn't done an episode recently, but he does one called Glory Days with Dan the Dad.
Oh, okay.
Where he interviews people.
Very
He's done
nice.
like 3 or 4, but they're really interesting. They're kind of fun.
So that was Glory Pro, a great start to the collective and for the wrestling weekend in general, at least for me. I don't know how it went for you. You guys, based on what Amanda was telling me before, you guys are plagued with roadblocks that just seem to sabotage you.
Amanda had a rough weekend, but
yeah, no wrestling for me at all.
I watched so much wrestling that I, at some point, just everything started to kind of meld together. And so I don't even know.
Yep.
Left from right, up from down. We were trying to talk about it on our show and I couldn't remember which matches Biff Busick won and didn't win. And because I swear I've seen him and Mike Bailey each wrestle 68 times this weekend.
Yeah, those two were there. There's always like one workhorse wrestler, at least. Mike Bailey, I feel like, wins the award for that this year. That man was on like every fucking night, every card he could be on.
Yeah.
There's just a picture on Veda Scott's Twitter of him just laying on like the floor of the airport, I believe, or the hotel, like just asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, mood. That's a
yeah.
Overall, yes. Nailed it.
Yeah. So, and then there's at least 4 or 5 shows that I wanted to see that I haven't even been able to watch yet.
Oh, there's some really good shows in the collective. Slight spoilers for those that are hearing this now, because me and Mikey's episode comes out on Sunday. My favorite of the shows is World on Lucha. That was a really good card. Like, if you don't like lucha wrestling or you haven't seen any lucha wrestling, boy, you should just watch that. You'll become a fan of it.
Yeah, that's when I want to watch it. I didn't get to watch For the Culture, and I missed most of Big Gay Brunch, which I never miss, and I need to go back and watch it. So
I will say, what was it? For the Culture was a great show. I talked about that with Ryan actually on one of the, I think it's the first episode of this. Big Gay Brunch is good. I was pleased with Big Gay Brunch. I always go to Big Gay Brunch like with high hopes to find like a new standout person on the gay independent wrestling scene that I was not aware of. I like the booking for one of the matches, even though the match itself wasn't the best in my opinion. The booking made a lot more sense after the fact, where I was like, okay, you know what, the match wasn't the best, but it gets a higher grade simply because it just continues a storyline that I want to now see the ending of.
Gotcha.
It's one of those like, it happens sometimes. Mikey and I will like find a match and be like, what's this match? And we found the build-up match to the main match, not the actual main match. So we get like the weird finish or like the run-in, and we're just like, oh, come on, man.
Like, this is not it.
It's like, why the run-in, man? Oh my.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that was this special episode of the collective. Matt, Ashley, you got anything to plug?
Just ourselves, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think that there is anything other than ourselves.
Which are great.
We'll do our freaking spiel. Okay, so we are Ashley and Amanda from How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling. You can find us on Twitter at
HTTW Pod,
or on Instagram at
How to Talk Wrestling Pod.
And you can find us everywhere you're already listening to podcasts. If you can, rate, review, and subscribe. We also have merch if you're interested, and you can find that at
How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling.bigcartel.com.
And that's freaking it.
Yeah, that's us.
Smooth AF. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I believe this might probably be second. If it's not second, keep listening. On Sunday, Mike and I will be releasing our solo Indy Waters episode where we talk about, I believe we're talking about World on Lucha, Spring Break, and Big Gay Brunch. So yeah, thanks for watching or listen, I guess. Bye. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Independent Waters. My name is Zach Batista, the host of these special reviews of the collective, my portion of guest interview, just discussions. And today I have a very special guest with me to talk about a very special event. My host is none other than the host of Ring Post Radio, Happy Hour. He's one of the founders of this network. You all love him. You all hate him. Ryan Neitzey.
Whoa. Put the pitchforks down, everybody. I'm just here to talk about the culture.
It's just a bit.
Oh, hey. Ooh-wee. Happy to be here, Zach. Happy to be here for sure. Here, excited to talk about For the Culture. A very good WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I realized halfway during the weekend that I was like, this weekend doesn't feel as bloated. Not bloated, maybe not the right word, but
Packed.
like as packed as last year. I realized like, oh, they're missing a bunch of shows. Last year,
Yeah.
a bunch of shows,
Mm-hmm.
and this year, still a lot of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
A more manageable amount of wrestling.
I ran the marathon this weekend. I think I only, out of all the shows in the collective, I only didn't watch 3 of them.
I can tell you exactly how many matches I've seen this weekend.
And I was just, by the end of when I finished the last one I watched, which is Mission Pro Wrestling, watch that fucking show. It's a it's a great show. The women there did a really good job. It's unfortunately, because Mikey and I don't have all the time in the world to review everything.
Yeah.
That got cut, but I still watched it. Support Mission Pro Wrestling. They do a great job of promoting women's wrestling. Put on a great show.
I watched 67 matches so far this weekend.
My God.
Which I mean, let me let's do this. I'll exclude Rampage, which just got included in that list. So that's 63 matches.
That reminds me, I still have to watch for Supercard.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched it yet.
Supercard is great.
My dad did not
team,
stop gushing about the tag team match.
Match of the year contender, probably the best tag team match in a long time. But also, I say that in a long time, but like, I mean, the OGK Matt Taven match versus the Briscoes at Final Battle for Ring of Honor was also very good.
Mm.
But this was like probably the best tag team match, like 5-star best tag team match since Revolution.
I was gonna say, I asked my dad, I was like, "Is it better?" I'm like, "You tell me it's better than the Revolution one because that's still the best." And my dad was like, "Yes," and I was like, "That's some high fucking praise if you're lopping that on." So we'll be watching that at some point. Don't know when I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about that, right?
We're not there though. No, we're not here to talk about that. Not here now. I will probably be discussing that with Mikey later.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to talk about For the Culture, a pretty regular event on the collective card. I think it's been on every collective I've watched so far.
I think this is the third one.
Oh, wow. Damn,
I think the first For the Culture was the collective weekend that we went.
Yep.
In Indiana. I think that was the first one.
If that isn't, that would explain why I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's just on it. I assumed it was just a thing all the time.
Yeah. I want to say that was the first one. And then the second one was obviously last year. And then the third one was this year. That's math. Mm-hmm. That's how math works.
So this, For the Culture, a independent wrestling show that promotes the colored independent wrestlers. I believe is it Gray that hosts? Is it Gray that has this, or I forgot who the person is that organizes all this.
Yeah, I guess technically Brett, but
technically, but
AJ Gray is the guy that seemingly books all of this show.
So this show, as I said, it showcases colored independent wrestlers that don't get as much spotlight as they should get. And
yeah, African American, Hispanic, not everyone that's not us, white.
Yeah,
boys.
Pretty much. Yeah. And there were some contenders this year that, again, like last time I went here, I was like, I need to watch more matches of these wrestlers because there's some real hidden gems in there.
Yeah, and that's like just what I love about For the Culture is that it is, not to get into politics, I guess, but the whole thing of like, African American people don't get like booked all the time, and it's just what it just sadly, it's that's how wrestling indies are. Is they book the people they like, and for whatever reason, these people don't get booked a lot. And I know a lot of these people every time I watch For the Culture, there's always someone I'm like, I've never seen this guy before, but why is he not booked more?
Yep.
We should see more of these people. Oh, this guy's great. I want to see more of him. And fantastic work from every single person up and down this card.
Oh yeah. So on that note, let's just go down the card one by one and just give our quick little feelings on each one of the matches and just talk about them a bit.
Yeah.
So let's start out. We got Big Swole going against Tasha Steelz for the Impact Knockouts World Title.
Yes.
I thought this was a solid, well-paced opening match.
I did as well. I thought this was a good match. I enjoyed this match a lot. This was looking up online. This is Big Swole's second match after. I guess is it her first? I think second match after leaving AEW. She did the Tootie Lynn match in St. Louis, and now she's here wrestling Tasha Steelz. Looked good. I liked seeing her wrestle.
Always a fan.
Unlike some promoters, I guess. I think she's a pretty good wrestler.
I also agree on this.
Tasha Steelz, I think, is also... Tasha Steelz is somebody that this new heel gimmick on Impact has done wonders for her. She has this level of confidence and swagger that's just perfect for her.
Yeah.
And this match just worked a lot for me.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite parts. It was like just in general, like I remember when I first watched For the Culture, it was her and Kira Hogan. They were still fire and flavor. And I remember I was like, when I finished the match, I was like, I think Hogan was the one that stuck out at me the most. Like that's a star right there. And Steelz is good, but I don't know how she is by herself. And then this comes back to here now where I look at it, I'm like, God damn, Steelz is really working that Queen Bee gimmick, and I love it. Yes,
she has that confidence, that new gimmick change of like, here, be the badass sort of person there. Just fantastic work. I love Tasha Steelz. I love Big Swole. I thought this was very good. There's some spots in there that was, it is what it is. But for the most part, I thought this was a good, well worked opening match of the show. I like that they also played into the fact that these two knew each other well enough that like there was a point where I think Swole went for Dirty Dancing. Yep.
And they went back and forth, just countering each other because Steelz knew that if she got punched in the face, she was just not going to wake up.
Yeah, no, I like that they played into that, which, by the way, shout out to the commentary team. It's kind of a revolving door commentary booth, but it was like Faye Jackson, Shug D, AC Mac. Yeah, I think Robert Barter was in there at one point. I think so, yeah. Shug and Max stayed on the whole time. Yeah, like there was like, it was like they were just sitting there with like a third headset just there, and if someone just came walking by, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, come on, sit down, come on, let's talk about the match." And they were great, but they played into that history that they know each other and that this is a continuation of their rivalry. I think Big Swole would be great in Impact. Honestly, I think that's a good pickup for them. Someone with TV experience or whatever. Yeah. I think Big Swole, I like to see her land somewhere on television. I mean, I get it. Her whole Crohn's disease thing, I get it. That can put you out for a month, and then you're like, well, I don't know how much value, money-wise, contract-wise, it is to spend money on someone that's could potentially be out for months for this random timeline. Yeah, but she's a good wrestler. She's a really good wrestler, and I enjoyed her. I for those of you listening to the finish of this, because I wrote down the finish for every match because I was like, I might as well know who won every match because I would forget. Please. Finish if I recall correctly. Let me see if I wrote. Yes. It actually came from a very just normal maneuver in the ring. Swole tried to jump into the ring using the second rope, and Steelz caught her with a cutter and won it. Yeah, out of nowhere. An out of nowhere cutter to just bring it home. I was like, oh. But then, of course, commentary, because, by the way, I've watched 3 For the Cultures. Commentary is always quality. They were like, oh, yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, because Swole was like so on guard for this cutter that she thought to herself, no, I'm just going to get into the ring. She's not going to do anything from that. And Steelz had to pull something like out of nowhere that Swole was not expecting to win it. Yeah, I think Shug said something along the lines of like, what Tasha Steelz did there is that as a defensive move, she was offensive. She's like an offensive move defensively, and it won her the match. That makes sense. Yeah, it was a very clean spot too. That was just like, oh, and here we go, going back in the ring. Oh, what's that? Oh, my neck. And I got pinned. Yep, and it's done. Yeah, great. Sad days. I thought it was a great spot with the great explanation from commentary. Because that's also what's great about commentary. Is if you have a great commentary team, they're selling that story. They know what they're doing. It's perfect, and they did that exceptionally well. So on our show, as you know, Ryan, we have a grading system for each match. What would you give this match? I would give this match I would probably give it a mark out, honestly.
You give it a mark out.
I think I liked it a lot. You know, I thought Big Swole and Tasha Steelz work well together. You know, like I said, they have you know, some stuff that was just like, oh, okay. But otherwise, I thought it was a pretty good match between the two. Realistically, it's like in between Matt and Markout, but I'm going to stick with Markout.
Fair enough.
Just I'm gonna lean the domino that way. Does that make sense? Is that a phrase?
Yeah. Lean the domino, tip the barometer.
Yes. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tip that thing in that direction. And I really enjoy this match between.
Tip the scales.
Tip the scales. There we go.
That's it.
There we go, baby.
There we go. You pretty much gave. I finally gave this match a high meh. So it's exactly what you had, which is right between Matt and Markout, where I was like, solid match, good wrestling, good story, was a fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So going off of that, we then have, as every card on GCW's collective seemed to have, a scramble match. We have Keita Murray versus Judas versus Trey Shaw versus Carly Bravo versus Andino versus Michael Oku versus PB Smooth.
Can we just talk about Judas?
I loved that name. He comes out, I see his look. I'm like, first off, looks fantastic. Love the look. Then he's like, Judas. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm over the moon about Judas. My man, Judas. Great.
Judas. Oh my God. This fucking name. Oh my God. So this scramble match is basically what you'd expect when you watch a scramble match. A lot of fast-paced action, a lot of big spots that kind of like gives each participant a little spot in the match to show off what they got. Kind of like it's like the poo-poo platter of wrestling matches. A nice little bit of each guy's personality here and there that you get, and then one of them inevitably is going to win it.
Yes. It's a tapas bar.
Yes, tapas bar.
It's the little portions of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I thought this was actually a pretty solid scramble. There was a lot of people in here I've never heard of. Judiz, Trey Shaw, and Dino. I've never heard of these guys. I think Andino was a Nightmare Factory guy.
Yep. Him and I believe Bravo were both Nightmare Factory guys.
Yes. But Carly Bravo has been on. I've seen Carly Bravo wrestle before. He's with Sean Dean, the Infantry Tag Team. PB Smooth I've seen before. Keita Murray, he wrestles on New Japan Strong in LA every once in a while.
This is actually my first Keita Murray match. So I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but the fact his gimmick is he's the key to everything is just...
Yeah.
I
thought he's great. I think he's really good. I think he's got something. And then Michael Oku, who is just a phenomenal talent, which,
Was it the master of the half Boston, I think was their introduction.
The half crab, yeah.
Yeah, the half crab. And
he's phenomenal. Earlier this year, he had I don't remember what I rated it. I want to say it was like a 5-star match with Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Which, I mean, to be fair, is Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's phenomenal. He's insanely good. His crowd connection's completely there. And it was very interesting to see him against people that are like trainees and stuff. I feel like he's definitely had to dumb it down a little bit. No offense to the other wrestlers, but then also just like figure out, he has the crowd connection in England, but does he have the crowd connection in America? Figuring that out. It was interesting to see that take place.
I was actually a fan of this match. Was solid. Was it's fine. I think my favorite part of it was every time PB showed up because everyone in the ring was like, "Oh no, the big guy's back up. Hold on."
Yeah.
And they had to beat the shit out of him. Like every time he got into the ring and started to dominate, they'd gang up on him. If he'd either knock them all down or he would get knocked down. Like there's even a point towards the end of the match where like they beat this man down with so many strikes. It's like, man, can't catch a break right now.
It was a great story through line throughout this match. Was just whenever PB Smooth's in the ring, he's either beating up everybody or everyone's beating him up.
He towered over everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, I forgot how big PB Smooth is.
PB Smooth, baby. He's good. Mm-hmm. He's solid. Very solid.
A lot of high-flying spots here in this match as well. There was the back-to-back suicide dives by Andino, and then it was going to be Keita. But then, Keita cut Bravo off with the super kick. That was it. 'Cause I remember being like, oh, you're a suicide dive? And that's a suicide dive. And then Oku was like, I'll Fosbury flop. I was just like, fuck it. Everyone's jumping now.
Why not? Just off the board, just destroy everything. Just why not, man?
Mhm.
Why not?
For me, though, the finish of this match, I very much became a fan of Oku. If I wasn't already enjoying his work in the match, the finish, his half Boston, which he submitted, I believe it was Shaw, looks fucking sick.
Hey, he's the master of the half Boston, man.
I was sitting there and I was like, Master, I'm like, all right, what do you got, Mr. Master of the half Boston? This man fucking grabbed this dude by the toe and cranked his leg back. I'm like, that's like some fucking Kyrie Sane shit where she's the master of the elbow drop. And like, what are you gonna do with an elbow drop? The best you've ever seen. You're like, ah, shit, they're very good at it. Worst looking Boston, half Boston, as in like to take. Like this is without it going to line. Was it the lines?
Lion
tamer territory. Like I was like, that looks horrendous to take in a good way.
Oh yeah, you know, Michael Oku is just he's just a guy, man. He's just good.
Have to watch his match with Will Ospreay at some point.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where you would find it, and obviously you can pay for it and all that stuff. Probably it's on Rev Pro's High Stakes, I believe was the event. Fantastic match with these two. This match, yeah, you know, it was fine. There was, you know, I'd give it a solid meh, only because it's like, you know, Michael Oku had to dumb it down a little bit, but what he did was great. Kitamura was great. Everyone else, you know, for the most part, they're still trainees, still on the come up. So it's just something that, you know, they'll get better.
There definitely are people to keep your eye on in the independent scene.
The scramble match, what can be good about scramble matches is that it hides a lot of negative stuff.
Very true.
And I think that this scramble did a pretty decent job of hiding a lot of that stuff, and was able to have a lot of, you know, your Trey Shaws and your Carly Bravos and Dinos and Judiz to shine through without seeing too many negatives.
So many names. I remember like the announcer, they just kept coming. I was like, what? Oh yeah, because I came late to this event because I had to pick up my sibling from track practice. So I left during Big Swole's thing, which I was sad about. Came back in the middle of them introducing people, and I was like, "Who the hell?" I was just like sitting there, like, I was like, "Who's that? Who dis? Huh?
Who dis? Judiz."
I was just so confused. Still good, still solid match.
Very good match. Very good match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually agree. I also give this match a meh. So moving on from the scramble match, we now have Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor and the Big Kaiju. Is it? It's O'Shea Edwards, I think.
Correctamundo, Big Bad Kaiju O'Shea Edwards. I
can't believe I got that right. I'm, as I said, as it's documented here, I'm awful with names. Versus Hitmakers, which is Ashante and Frank, formerly Hit Row. Accompanied to the ring by it was BFAB, but I don't know if BFAB goes by a different name.
No, I believe it's Brianna Brandy, I think.
Still great look for her.
Yep.
I saw this and I was like, all right, I'm like, let's see if Hit Row's got what they got. It had been so long since I'd seen Ashante wrestle.
Ashante is really good. I think Ashante is really good at wrestling.
I was like, I think the last time I saw you wrestle was your one match on NXT that you had with Frank at the start of the thing. And then after that, he never wrestled again. It was just always Swerve and Frank.
Yeah.
Which, granted, I don't blame them because Swerve is Swerve. But at the same time, I was just like, aw.
Oh, yeah.
Relegated to manager position with BFAB. What the hell?
Oh, yeah. He's very good. Yeah, he would have been cut. No matter what the AJ Francis thing happening, he would have gotten cut. If they can't keep BFAB, then they would have cut him, and it just would have been Swerve and Frank.
Still sad about BFAB.
Yeah,
it's just tragedy.
So I came to this match. I enjoyed Hit Row a lot, and I'm very frustrated about how everything went down, especially surrounding AJ Francis. And how, I get what he's trying to do, but also, come on, man. I get what he's trying to do, and he's being, hanging out with other people, but you're not big time yet. You just got him up here. But the tag team of Ashante and AJ Francis are a good tag team of Top Dollar and Ashante the Adonis. They were a good tag team. I think they're really good, and so I was very interested to see how this match would go against Shane Taylor Promotions, one of the standouts of late stage modern ROH, Shane Taylor Promotions. Not coming back to Ring of Honor probably.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, well, Shane Taylor and Tony Deppen are two guys that were like in Ring of Honor, and then they went on Spaces to complain about TK.
Oh, this is the other one. I remember when I saw Deppen. Side note, I remember I saw Deppen. I was like, I'm like, I still love you as a wrestler, but I my head back and it's just sitting there, and I'm like, you just had that one moment where you and some other guy were just like, something about kissing ass or whatever.
Yeah, it's they were complaining about TK, and it's like, guys, that's a potential booker that might book you. I wouldn't say anything that's negative. And
they'll do what they want to do. It's fine. Deppen they'll always get their job.
Nonetheless, I was excited. This was the match. This was one of my must-see matches of the weekend, just to see how it works, because it could go one of two ways with the Hitmakers.
Yeah,
it could either be that this match, they big time Shane Taylor Promotions, and they just they're not really working hard and all this stuff, or they will go out there and be like, you know what, we're going to show you that we're a big deal. We're going to show you why we were a big deal. Let's remind everybody. Let's remind Connecticut why we were a big deal and prove everyone wrong. And honestly, I think they did it. I thought this match was really good. I thought Hitmakers, Noshea Edwards, and Shane Taylor put on an outstandingly good match. It wasn't like perfect or anything, but I thought as a first time match, seeing them back onto the Indies, I thought that Tahuti Miles and AJ Francis did a great job. I want to see them more now. Will we? I don't know.
No idea.
I definitely want to.
It seemed like the crowd liked them.
Oh yeah, man. Hitmakers were over. Hit Row was over in there.
I actually was, when I watched this match, I didn't have the thought in my mind of like, this is their first match back in like since the split with WWE. And I was like, all right, so this is as commentary did a good job of putting it, this is the veterans of the independent scenes, Edwards and Taylor, going against the up and comers, technically speaking, of independent scenes, because now they're new on the scene, and it's kind of like their welcome. And I was like, good. I was impressed with the two of them. I was like, this is some good shit right here. I thought that Frank had a lot of really good spots that he looked great in. My favorite one being when he hit the running knee, I think on Edwards or Taylor, and he used the momentum to like flip out of the ring onto his feet. I was like, that was so smooth, and that was so nice.
Yeah.
That's a great spot to just do all the time.
Yeah.
I thought that Ashante did a really good job of being for the hot tag. He took a lot of punishment in this match with these two. And I thought that the finish, the finish made the most sense when I thought about it. I was like, I think it was Taylor kneed Ashante in the face and did a spinning sit out tombstone pile driver to win. And I was like, that makes sense. Veteran team being like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, no, it perfectly made sense for Shane Taylor Promotions to win. I mean, they're former 6-man champions and all that jazz. O'Shea Edwards is very good, very solid. Shane Taylor is also just very good. I want to see those guys get picked up definitely somewhere.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I want to see them land on their feet. But it's just, man, these guys, they know what they're doing in there, man. And I whether or not they carry the other team, I don't think so. I think Hitmakers played their part well. I think they did a good job. I think that it was a good match. It's totally a markout for me. To me, Zach, probably the match of the night for me personally.
Damn, that's some high praise for me. I gave this match this is a fine match, a good opening for Hitmakers. It's more like this was like they're a good first step forward, and I will look on for their next couple steps with interest.
Yeah,
because like you said, this match they could have been awful and crashed and burned, or they could have done a good job, and they did a good job with this team.
Yeah.
Like you say, it wasn't there were some spots that didn't go the best, but you know what? It happens in wrestling. And after watching 60 fucking something matches like it happens. It's what are you gonna do?
I mean, these guys are also, PC performance center trained. There is, as I like to dub it, they have the WWE stink on them. And
yeah,
when you get to the indies, when you start doing all this stuff, you have to get the stink off of you as much as possible. They have a lot of upward work to do on that front. They have to earn their keep again.
Yeah.
I think Tahuti Miles has it, by the way. I think he's really good. But this act is over as well, so you got to stick around. And yeah, I think these guys are just very, very solid. They'll get better. I think
they will.
Tahuti Miles is like a prospect to me. AJ Francis is a good heavy.
Francis also has he seems to have the drive to want to prove everyone that he is a star, which is what you need to improve. That's
true. It's big, talk a big game or rap a big game, I guess. But you got to back it up somehow. So you prove us wrong. I think they did a good job.
All right. So going off of that, we then have the Pan-African World Diaspora sounds way better than how I butchered it. World Championship match between Trish Adora and MJ Jenkins.
Yeah.
MJ Jenkins has a beautiful sounding voice.
Yeah, a new gimmick for MJ Jenkins that she debuted, or at least debuted on a bigger stage. She used to be in WWE NXT for a bit, and then she got promptly left. I don't know exactly when. I want to say like 2019 or something. She's been gone for a while. And I haven't seen her, and this is the first time I've seen her come back with that sort of like singer. I mean, what was it? Shug D described her as like a Beyonce-esque character. I thought that was an interesting idea. The match itself, pretty good.
I enjoyed how it was very clear when Jenkins came out that the crowd loved her. And I like how rather than making this a face versus face match, she leaned into the fact of being a heel.
Yes.
And the crowd turned on her so hard when she was like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I don't need any of your shit. I was just like, am a fan. Because then Trish Adora came out and she was over as fuck.
Yeah. Trish Adora, another former late stage ROH talent.
She's so goddamn good at wrestling.
She's so good at wrestling. I really wish another company picked her up. I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm just like sitting there going like, please, just someone sign this woman. She's such a goddamn good wrestler.
And she only gets better. Only gets better. Every time I've seen her, she's gotten better. So
she's one of the few women wrestlers I've seen that's like gone like a full hour wrestling pretty much.
Yeah, because she did that hour long with Tony Deppen, I think, right?
Yep, the Iron Man match. I had Mike and I reviewed that. Go watch that episode.
Remember like when early last year when suddenly independent wrestlers just wanted to do Iron Man matches for some reason?
Yeah, just like it was those two. Tony
Deppen again and Jordan Oliver going 2 hours.
Yep, because they came in to draw and they're like, fuck it, we do another hour-long Iron Man match. Just why the fuck not?
Hilarious.
But back to this match. This match was pretty good. It was very much like MJ Jenkins being the asshole heel, working Trish, and Trish trying so goddamn hard to get a comeback here. And as we said, Trish Adora can go the distance. So the way I look at Trish is like her matches always start like kind of a bit slower, but like by the end of it, like they go on she's on full cylinders, like going for it, and I love it.
Oh yeah,
it's my cup of tea, as someone would put it.
Oh yeah, totally. This was a good match between the two.
There were some really nice spots here. I think my favorite was when Trish went for Lariat Tubman, and Jenkins did like the Matrix bridge backwards and hit her with the roundhouse kick to the side of the head. Just because like the bridge, I was like, oh, all right, I'm down for this. There was that. Jenkins had a really nice like spinning side kick when Trish came out of the corner that knocked her down. I was like, that was very good. Do that more often.
Yeah, just very good.
Trish played a very valiant babyface as she does. But I don't think I've actually seen a heel Trish Adora yet.
No, and I don't think she needs a heelness to her. I think she has a solid babyface work.
Though the only thing that I
That's something I think she's good at what she does. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things more so of like a what if scenario that I was like, what would a heel Trish Adora be like?
I don't know. It's one of those things that she's like military and all stuff. It's just like, I don't know. Afro punk is hard to heal that up, I guess. You have to be something completely different, really.
Yeah. I'll say though, for the finish for me, kind of just came out of nowhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, kind of abrupt, wasn't it?
Yeah, Adora did like a deadlift sit out atomic drop, and then she used her legs to crucifix Jenkins, and she pinned her, and I was like, "Oh, the match is over now,"
and that's it.
That's just it. And Jenkins was being like a Beyonce like diva, and she walked in, she's like, "I don't want to shake your fucking hand."
Yeah. And
I was like, that's fair. I got pinned like that, I'd be mad too.
Oh yeah, I'd be furious. About such an endeavor. But I just think Trish Adora is just a phenomenal worker, and I just come on, can somebody out there, somebody,
come on. I will say I'll be looking out for some MJ Jenkins matches in the future, or at least if her name pops up now, I won't be like, who the hell is that? I'll be like, oh, okay.
I think MJ Jenkins. I think it's been a couple of years now. I don't know if we'll ever see her back on like the national stage. I think she's a good hand in terms of the indie world.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my view of her. She's totally fine. She's totally serviceable. I think this new gimmick idea works better for her. So I would like to see what she does with that. And I think she deserves more bookings, totally.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give this match a meh. Like I said, pretty good.
Yeah, this is one of those matches where I'm on the line between meh and markout, but I'm probably gonna go meh as well. It's just MJ Jenkins I want to see more of, and I think she needs to get a little bit better, I think. And she'll be great.
Yeah.
I think she'll be great.
So after that, our next match on this card is a match that I was very excited for when I heard it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Got Darius Lockhart going against AJ Gray.
Yes.
Two wrestlers with couldn't have been any more of a different style choices.
Oh, yeah. Darius Lockhart has been great. He had that Enjoy Wrestling match last year.
Yep, with Moriarty, I think it was.
Yes, with Lee Moriarty. That was fantastic.
Great match.
I think that was a good breakout match for Darius Lockhart. Great look. Great promo. And then a pretty good, damn good wrestler to boot.
Mm-hmm. I love me some Darius Lockhart.
Versus AJ Gray, who just consistently went out of his way to lariat clothesline Darius Lockhart out of his boots.
Yeah, I actually really liked the structuring of this match, which was first half of this match was Lockhart and Gray were basically they were doing like your classic tie-ups, but it's very obvious that whereas Gray's like I will just beat the shit out of you, Lockhart's like, well, I'm just gonna out wrestle you.
Mm-hmm.
And he specifically went after Gray's arm in the beginning of the match so that when the second half of the match happened, which is when they started, it just became more like a brawl.
Yeah.
He could actually go in kayfabe. He can then now go toe-to-toe with Gray because one of Gray's arms is injured and he can't just go full blast with him. He's got to fight him with one arm, basically.
Yeah, which worked perfectly. That clash of styles, a big brawler versus, the what's the word? Technical guy. Working that arm the entire time, so it's going to hurt if you hit that lariat, but ultimately he still might hit a lariat on you.
Yeah, it's more so like a safety net of like I might get hit with the lariat, but it won't kill me. I'll just fall off the rope and. But
it gives me a chance to be able to kick out, or for him to be like he does the lariat and be like my arm. There's a chance now I can catch my breath, catch my bearings a little bit more.
Yeah. On that note, the strikes in this match were hard as fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and not just from AJ Gray.
Mm-hmm. Darius Lockhart came with his own set of firepower here. These two are chopping the fuck out of each other's chests.
Oh my god, yes. Darius Lockhart. Like I said, he is on the come up immediately. He's been in NWA for a little bit now, which is pretty cool. Challenge for the new junior heavyweight title. Wasn't able to win, but he was good in that match too. He's a prospect to me a little bit as well. He's somebody that he's rising, and hopefully that cream rises completely to the top.
Mm-hmm. Man, there were some really good moments in this match. I loved how in this match, Gray went out of his way to like try to play mind games with Lockhart, which he never does whenever I watch this match. Usually about like, I'm just going to beat the shit out of you. But in this match, he went out of his way to mock Lockhart, which then played into the finish.
Oh yeah, AJ Gray mocking him while he's hurt.
Like he's mocking him while he's hurt. He's slapping him on the back of his bald head the whole time. Oh my God. And then I love how there's a point in this match where like I was so surprised when Lockhart kicked out of Gray's lariat because I haven't seen anyone ever kick out of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You get hit with that, you're fucking done most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of this match, I believe it was Gray slapped Lockhart in the face.
Yes.
So Lockhart's like, fine, I'm going to Asado driver your ass. And he got rolled up while he tried doing it. And I was like, that. Yeah. And then Gray just did like the I got in your head. And I was just like, AJ Gray just pulled out mind games on Darius Lockhart. What universe am I fucking in right now?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love it.
You're on the come up. You're still on the come up, kid. I'm here. That's the idea. Is that you're on my show for a reason. It's my show for a reason.
My show, damn it.
It's because I am that good, and I'm not just a big dumb wrestler that can hit you with lariats. It's I'm also a smart guy that knows how to wrestle.
Yeah, I was very pleased with this match. This match hit my expectations and a little bit then some.
Yeah, I thought this match was pretty good. I thought the Trish Adora match was a little bit better, so I'm gonna still say a meh here. It's a hurtful meh. I don't know why, because I did enjoy it, but for some reason it just didn't fully click with me. I was watching this show while I was at work. Don't tell Warner Media. But I was at work when I was watching this, so maybe I just got distracted by something.
Maybe
it deserves a rewatch. AJ Gray and Darius Lockhart. I think they're two fantastic wrestlers. I think there were some things that just didn't click for me for whatever reason, but it doesn't mean that it was a bad match.
On the other hand, I am going to give this match a high meh. Like I said, this match was like, it hit my expectations and then went above them a bit. Mm-hmm. And I was, especially after the structuring of this match, that I was like, fuck yeah, that was a good fucking match.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So after that match, we get into not a scramble, but a fatal four-way.
Yes. So it was supposed to be two separate matches.
It was. I actually thought the same. I was like, wait a second, hold on here. Things got put together. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, if I remember correctly, JTG versus Rich Swann.
Mm-hmm.
Which in Rich Swann didn't show up for whatever reason. I don't know why. He was there before and he was there after. Just don't know why he couldn't make it this one.
So weird.
And then Brian Keith versus Too Cold Scorpio, who also no-showed. Which I don't know. I never saw Too Cold Scorpio on any card after this, so maybe it was something happened before. I don't even know what happened before.
Maybe. Yeah, it's one of those things where like I actually forgot that it was Swan and Scorpio. Because I remember in my mind I saw JTG and then I saw Keith and I was like, wait a second, you're supposed to have two different matches. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. And then we also had not just those guys in here, but also Mysterious Q and Zenshi.
Yeah.
Zenshi. I love Zenshi.
I did not know who Zenshi was before this match.
And now you know.
Yeah, now I know. This was a lot. This was kind of like, it's a fatal four-way, though they can't stay on the Indies, so it's a scramble technically. But I actually I like this more than the other one because there was actual story in this match that they worked around. Like there were threads throughout it.
Yeah.
So first one was Mysterious Q and Brian Keith do not like each other at all.
Longtime rivals in the Texas indie scene.
Yeah. So right out the bat, like these two came out first and like, well, Zenshi and JTG came in. These two were just staring each other down. They didn't even care about the other two guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, great. You say that, but also JTG playing the sort of like veteran and be like, four-way dance, I'm not going to get involved here. I'll let you guys figure it out and I'll come in and swoop in later.
He literally just avoided a fight as much as he possibly could. And I love how inevitably they all got so tired of this, they eventually they turned on him.
Yeah. Eventually they're like, okay, screw this guy. I'm gonna beat him up.
Either get the fuck in the ring or don't fucking come in at all.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. Like, there were some great spots between Keith and Zenchi here. There were parts where like Q goaded JTG to fight. They fought each other, and then JTG slaughtered Q with a backdrop suplex into a neck breaker, which looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
JTG, another person that I first saw at For the Culture, though technically I first saw him as Crime Time, but then it was after that.
Yep.
And I was like, this guy's fucking good. Like, goddamn. There were a lot of like back and forths here. There are a lot of points in this match where you could be like, oh shit, like, yeah. There was just so many good spots here. Like, there was Q's spinning torture rack blue thunder bomb on Zenchi, or Zenchi's coast to coast from the other side of the ring into Keith's leg, which made him unable to do anything after the finishing spot.
That was so weird looking. That coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he got all of it, but it still very much worked, in my opinion.
It worked, but yeah, I was like, you didn't get all of it. And then Keith held his leg, and I was like, okay, fair enough to Keith. That actually makes sense. That if he's looking at, I think it was JTG in the corner or Q, he would get his leg kicked out.
Yeah.
The most surprising of all the spots, though, was when Keith had Zenchi up on his shoulders in like an electric chair position, and Mysterious Q used this position to jump off the top rope and hit a satellite electric chair cutter, which slammed Keith into the mat, but it killed Zenchi, and he won. And I remember commentary was like, that those two working together that does not happen at all.
No, it insane.
Mm-hmm. And I would be probably, if I looked at it, Keith probably was not happy that you just used him like that to get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
hey man, when it works, it works. It is what it is. Brian Keith, Mysterious Q. I think they're both fantastic indie guys.
Mm-hmm. Bounty Hunter. It's another
JTG.
one I saw For the Culture.
JTG has just been outstanding as well. I really enjoy JTG. It's just like when I saw him For the Culture last year, it was like, holy crap, JTG is not only jacked to the gills, but also, he's way better than I remembered him. Way better.
Same exact reaction I had when I saw him the year prior. I was like, JTG, damn. All I knew I was the guy in Crime Time.
And now, I guess he's still the guy from Crime Time, but he's been phenomenal. He's wildly different. He's tag team with Dango in NWA, which is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good. Very good.
Much. I'm gonna give this match a high meh.
I'm also gonna go high meh. We sung praise of this match, but I think that not everything worked. The Zenchi thing of going across the ring, that coast to coast sort of thing, kind of worked, kind of didn't work, as we said. There were some spots where it's just like, I think Brian Keith and Mysterious Q are good, but they're not like great guys for me. They still have a lot to get to. A lot of people love Brian Keith. I'm not fully on the train yet, but maybe one day I will be. Excited for that day to come.
After this collective in whole, I'm probably on the caboose of the Brian Keith train at this point. Like, I saw the train roll by like a year ago or 2 years ago, and I was like, that seems like a cool train. Now I'm on it. I'm like, Brian Keith's great.
What an analogy.
Mm-hmm.
What an analogy for this. That was amazing.
Thank you. I try. Well, after that, let's head into the main event. A death match between Bill Dixon and Hoodfoot.
Yes.
And man, this was, I think I wrote this down in my notes. I wrote an old-fashioned blood feud death match style is the most basic bitch way I can describe this match.
I think that's the perfect way to describe this match. You have that blood feud there. You have a lot of blood. Hoodfoot
the ring as well.
Just draining. And it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't a fantastic blow away death match. I've seen better, but it was very good.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was good in service and served the point of the story.
Yes, I thought the finish made it a lot better looked on, in my opinion, because the finish was great.
Yeah.
I like how at the beginning of this match started, and they both went to grab light tubes. And Dixon, though the real reason is he couldn't get the tube out of the rope, in kayfabe does not do death matches as much as Hoodfoot does.
Yeah. He's
done some, but not like as many. So in kayfabe, he can't get the tube out. Tried to avoid it, got smashed over the head right out the gate. I was like, shit, okay.
All right.
Oh my God. They were on the outside for a while, but like Hoodfoot using the 2x4 to saw Dixon's back was
I hated that.
Oh, I was like, oh, it's just fine. And then once I saw the barbed wire starting to caught on Dixon's like shirt and overalls, like, oh no, no. Oh God. Dixon was like bleeding through these denim overalls in his shirt by the end of the match that I think he wore for the big gay brunch as well, funnily enough.
I vaguely remember. Yes, I think he did.
There was plenty of deathmatch spots here. There was there was the part where the two of them were on the apron hitting each other, just beating the shit out of each other. They went through a door. Dixon threw Hoodfoot through another door out, like in the ring. Hoodfoot unprettier Dixon headfirst into a bundle of light tubes.
Yes, right on the floor. No, wait, no, I thought Billy Dixon did that to Hoodfoot.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Dixon, yeah.
The unprettier to Hoodfoot right in a bundle of light tubes right below him. I don't remember if they broke, or at least if they didn't break spectacularly.
The half of like one side of like two of the 3 or 4 broke, and then Dixon just looks like fuck it, and he just slammed it over Hoodfoot's back.
Yeah, perfect.
I was like, ow, no. Oh my God, there was so many good spots. I think my favorite though has to be the finish, which is this is after Billy kicked out, or Bill, sorry, because Bill, they call him Billy and Bill. It's the whole thing. Didn't call him Bill.
William Dix. Hi, I'm William Dix. Welcome to my realtor store.
So Hoodfoot beat the shit, like headbutted Dixon in the face, put him through a table with a pump handle driver, covered him. Bill kicked out at 1, which I was like, what the fuck? And he sat up and flipped Hoodfoot off, and he's just screaming at him. So Hoodfoot smashed just light tube after light tube over his head. And then a la callback or a tribute to Alex Colon, put him in a Border City stretch and made him tap for the win.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Loved it.
Great stuff.
I also loved how after this match, neither one wanted to shake each other's hands, and Suge D was just like, sometimes beef doesn't get squashed, man. Like, it's not one match isn't going to squash the beef. Like,
no. When there's beef that massive, you gotta, it's got to stay in the slow cooker a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit of more time before that beef is ready to be cleared.
Mikey would know this more, definitely. But what is it? The thing. When you're like slow cooking meat or whatever, the stall. when they're in the stall, you're cooking meat for a very long time, and it just reaches the point of like, all right, I need to bump up the temperature as quickly as possible because it's stalling. We're at the stall.
Yeah.
They got one more match and then that's definitely deadlier, as it were.
Somehow, I don't know how. Fucking sawing with barbed wire 2x4s across each other's back, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ, I hated that. It was terrifying.
I was just like, oh, people usually take the barbed wire 2x4 and it never looks like that great. And this, I was just like, fuck, no, stop it.
Very strong work.
Still not the most cringe-inducing spot I saw on this card. Mikey's actually reviewing that card with Lauren on Planet Death.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple match.
If that's not out already, I guess.
It would actually already be out. I think it's like came out this Wednesday when this came out. This is coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
So overall, I was gonna give this match a meh after watching it, but then once the finish happened, I'm like, you could take a high meh. That deserves that.
A high meh as well. I think they have room for improvement. Weird to say. I think they have more. I haven't fully gotten into Hoodfoot either. I think Billy Dixon's solid. But I think Hoodfoot, I don't know what it is. I haven't seen him enough or haven't seen the right stuff. But I haven't gotten fully into Hoodfoot. But, I think he's coming along for the matches I have seen of him. He's gotten better. So, I think, and like I said, I think it was, for what it was, a very solid, serviceable death match to close out this for the culture. Agreed.
Overall, this is a good ass show.
Good, solidly good show.
Yes.
Solidly good show. Is it my favorite for the culture? I want to say last year's is pretty good. And I think a lot of people love the first one too. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people love the first one. But I think it wasn't bad, this show. It was very good.
Yes. It was definitely up there, I believe, for all the shows I watched this weekend, though the one that was my favorite, Mikey and I will be reviewing at a later episode. But this one was good. This was every time I go to a collective, it's kind of like you get like a mystery grab bag of like t-shirts. So you're not sure what you're going to get or how much you're going to like it. And I was pleased with what we got this year. Yes, I was too. I think there was certainly some stuff that stunk on other shows, but there were certainly also things that were very strong, very good, some great. So it is always, like you said, it's that grab bag that is a collective, and and plus you get to see a lot of new people. Is there anyone that you saw it for the culture that you're already interested in seeing more of? Oh yeah. Like I said, besides, of course, Judiz. Yes, besides Judiz, Oku. I would love to see more of Michael Oku. Keita Murray from this show and a later show. I was very impressed with what Keita had. Let's see. Jenkins, another one that I would be interested in seeing some more. Hitmakers. I would be very curious to see if they can continue being that good. Just like those are the ones that mainly come to mind, because some of these, or a good amount of these wrestlers on this show, I actually had known from prior years or just other matches. Those are the ones that I had like literally never seen. First match, like I was like, oh, all right, well, shit, yeah, let's see your shit, bruh. All right, you look like you know what you're doing out there, don't you? Yeah, all right, I'm down to see you do some more shit. Yeah, I'm down to clown. Exactly. Beautiful. If you want to hear more from me and other guests for this special collective episode, we've got Glory Pro with me and the host from How to Talk to Your Friends About Wrestling, Amanda and Ashley. And then we've got Bloodsport with me and Curtis. Have you recorded that How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling spot yet? Have you recorded that not yet? You know for a fact that they're going to dunk on you about not knowing which one is which, right? Oh, 100%. That's a given. Like when they're like, "You sure it's cool that Zach just be with the two of us?" I'm like, I'm gonna get dunked on so damn hard. Destroyed, man. You're gonna get destroyed. And I was like, you know what? That's fine. I've never like just talked with Amanda and actually just want like just me and them. Mikey's always with me. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll see how this goes. This should be a fun. Yeah, I think it's great. I think that's prime audio that I cannot wait to hear. It'll be fun. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Independent Waters. My name is Zach Batista, and joining me today is a special guest on our special collective episode for Independent Waters. Please introduce yourself to the audience, as it's the first time that you've been on our show, I think, if I recall correctly.
It is. Hello, the internet, and hello, the internet wrestling community. My name's Curtis Spears. I am the co-host of the Okada Shorts podcast here on the Countout Network, named after one of the things in New Japan Pro Wrestling that everybody likes, Okada Shorts. So, this is my first time being a guest host on one of the other podcasts that we have here on the lovely network. I'm really excited to be part of it. I've been, I think I'm no longer the new guy. We just got a new wrestling correspondent today. But yeah, until recently, I was the new guy, and I was all go team count out, like trying to make the most of this new opportunity here. So this is great.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, man.
And today we will be going over something that both Curtis and I love. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I fucking love me some Bloodsport.
Oh, good. Can I motherfuck on the podcast? I was really worried because some people, they don't like that.
Yeah. Me and Mikey curse on this podcast.
Okay. Super.
Yeah, Bloodsport. Since we were just talking about the first time we saw Bloodsport, first time I had it was Bloodsport 6, I believe.
Right on. I haven't
And it
seen
was,
that one.
That was I think that was headlined by Barnett versus Moxley, I think.
Oh, I'm in on that. That's cool. Yeah, Bloodsport 7 was my first Bloodsport. I caught it. I caught some of the matches on New Japan World because they had any of the crossover matches that had New Japan World or New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers on it. Were featured on New Japan World, and I fell in love with it. I love the aesthetic. I love just the hard hitting nature of it. I love the it takes me back to like a little bit like Pancrase, of course, Josh Barnett being a former king of Pancrase. It takes me in a little bit of like a UWF, which is really cool. So I was really into it.
I feel that. I love me some like catch style, like more like violent type of wrestling. If you listen to this podcast, any listeners out there, you know that I love me some hard hitting matches. This is just right up my alley.
Definitely.
So let's get into it then. First match we'll talk about, Masha Slamovich and Janai Kai.
So Masha Slamovich and Janai Kai, it's first time seeing both of these two wrestlers.
Okay.
I'm familiar with both of them. Masha Slamovich, I see her name on Twitter a lot and things like that. So I was really excited to kind of break in on these guys and see what they can do as far as a stripped down, showing of where their essentials are at. This match kind of turned out to be what happens when you have a striker like Janai Kai versus a wrestler like Slamovich.
Yep.
It goes to the ground and it ends right there. You know, anytime you get a wrestler versus a striker, like they said it, I think it was like Rocky 3, they said when a boxer faces a wrestler, the wrestler wins, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
It's literally like exactly that. I was like, I'm sad that we didn't get to see more from Kai because once it went to the ground, Masha just kind of owned her.
Yeah. Cross arm breaker done.
Done. Easy. Oh my god. She picked her ass up, dropped her with I think it was Northern Lights, I believe it was.
I didn't make a note of what actually I made a note of what finished the match. I didn't make a note of what the setup was.
All I remember, she caught the kick, and then dropped her with a Northern Lights into the cross arm, and it was just done. I thought this was a solid opener for the show. I was like, okay, it's like a little amuse bouche of like, this is the type of stuff you'll be seeing for the rest of the card if you're new here.
Yeah, so I think that what would need to happen is Janai Kai seems like she needs more experience with this sort of setting, but this is such a rare setting. I don't know how much more experience you can get with it, but
yeah.
I would definitely like to see. I love the striking aspect. I mean, there is a lot of striking going on in Bloodsport, but I would like to see her maybe round that out a little bit and get some ground game working and come back again soon, because she does have a cool look. Yes. And she's got like kind of a cool energy about her, which like a Tonpo kickboxer, that sort of thing. I'd really like to see more of that. But if you're just going to get embarrassed, then, maybe train up a little first.
Yeah. I have a point about Janai Kai that it always makes me sad when I realize that this collected, but I'll make that point because the next match, her tag team partner is in the next match because she's in a tag team with Yoya, who went against Ninja Mac. I was not anticipating Ninja Mac this year for Bloodsport. Oh yeah, wait. Should mention what are you gonna give that match?
I would give that like a meh. It was right about in the middle for me. I was hoping that it would go a little bit longer. I was hoping that there would be a little bit more of a show. I would have been a pretty high meh if the ending wasn't so fast. I like the fact that the ending came very quickly, but the match wasn't quite long enough for my taste. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely felt that because my notes, I have like written down highlights, and this match has none because of how short it was.
That's fair. That's really fair.
So, as I had previously said, next match that we got up is Ninja Mac versus Yoya. Ninja Mac, known for his high flying, not at all in my book, as far as I knew, for his shoot style wrestling.
No, Ninja Mac is a GIF wrestler. He's one of those people you see on Twitter all the time with the GIFs and things like that. He's very, very exciting to see. The coolest thing that he could have possibly done, got into the ring and unmasked in a show of respect for the Bloodsport arena. Very, very cool. Very cool moment for all of us. I think the last time I saw that was like 2005, One Night Only with Psychosis did it for the ECW arena.
Yeah.
You know, very, very cool show of respect from Ninja Mac there.
I was very excited, especially considering the fact that every Bloodsport I've noticed that I've watched has like one fast-paced match on the card. Like of like two people that I'm like, you two are just gonna go really fast compared to the other ones, and this was the match for me. I loved this match.
Yo-Yo was really impressive with his striking, and he had a lot of really cool submissions. But Ninja Mac is just so explosive. That killer finish that I'm sure everyone's seen by now if they're paying attention or if they have any interest in this. That finish was so good.
So goddamn good. Oh my god, the spinning kick to the back of his neck just planted him into the ground. I was just like, that was perfect.
Eddie Gordo Tekken style capoeira kick.
Oh, exactly, dude. Holy shit. Oh, I fucking love Tekken.
Yeah. That was absolutely fantastic. That was probably, so the first match I was into it. It was fine. The second match starts fast, was crazy, and ended in a very shocking manner. Like that was a good time. That was like, I'm watching Bloodsport now.
Oh yeah, two of them. There were a couple points when like Yo-Yo threw him and Ninja Mac out of the ring, and Mac's mouth got busted open. I actually liked how when Yo-Yo clipped Mac with the first kick he got to me, almost knocked him out, because it's like a good reminder to those that haven't watched Bloodsport. They're like, yeah, they can just get knocked out in a hit. Like it can be done.
Yeah, it is referee discretion. If you catch a bad one, the ref's gonna stop it. So. There it is.
Props to Mac also for selling the absolute fuck out of his ankle after Yo-Yo ankle locked him, and he was hobbling for the rest of this match. Loved it. Sold Yo-Yo's offense, even though Yo-Yo lost. And now I can say what I was going to say. Yeah, every time I watch Janai Kai and Yo-Yo fight, they always lose.
Oh.
Every time I've noticed, I'm like, I can only remember them in my mind losing, and I'm like, I'm sad that you lose all the time. I watch you. I want you to win, and I want it to be better, and then you just lose, and I'm like, okay.
But then someday they're gonna win.
Someday,
and you're gonna be so excited.
And I'll be over the moon.
It'll be the one time you don't watch them. It'll be the one time that like you're like, oh, I'll give this one a miss. Oh, did you see the end of that match? No.
Yeah, see it on Twitter. It's a GIF. I'm like, oh, for fuck.
Yep.
I can't catch a break. I gave this match a mark out. I was so pleasantly surprised with Mac and Yo-Yo here.
I think I would have been at high meh. Like I was really into it, and then the explosive finish, I popped right out of my chair. My wife was napping next to me, and I like woke her up and was like, "Look at this fucking Tekken shit going on!" Like it was pretty great.
Oh, I can just imagine just being woken up, just like watch this man pound this man to the ground with his foot right now.
We're both Tekken heads, so she was into it.
Oh, let's go! Oh my god! Oh, I gotta ask now. Who do you main in Tekken?
So Steve Fox mostly.
Ah, nice.
Well, used to be King, then Steve Fox. So
I used to play a lot of King myself, and then who was it that I ended up picking up? I think his name's Lee.
Oh, Lee Wulong, yeah.
I think Oh no, Lee Shaolin. That's which one I ended up picking up.
Gotcha.
Because I was like, I don't know what I want to play, and I was like, this guy looks suave. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that match. So after the high of that match, we've got Bad Dude Tito versus Royce Isaacs.
Okay, so I love both of these dudes on New Japan Strong. West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaacs, one of my favorite tag teams going right now. And Bad Dude Tito is someone who just showed up for the first time in New Japan Strong a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I'll give this at least a high man for the name Bad Dude Tito.
Yeah, that name. It's like shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think my name on Twitter for a while was Bad Dude Curtis, and I just couldn't live up to it. So I love it. Bad Dude Tito really looked like he wanted to wrestle more than use his power. And Royce is a much better grappler, though. So I think Tito just had the wrong battle plan in this match, and Isaacs just took him out with a real nice guillotine. Tito should have really been looking to dish more punishment in this match, and I think he just tried to get into the spirit of Bloodsport and wrestle more than he should have.
Yeah, and Royce was like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." Like, I thought I think the highlight of the match for me probably was the German suplex off, where they just kept going. They just traded Germans with each other, and I was like, I love this.
Really, really good stuff. Royce Isaacs is his tag team wrestling really makes me a fan, but Royce Isaacs himself, like he looks like somebody's weird uncle at the barbecue. And that makes me love him. Like he's got the like floral print like trunks and things like that, and the mustache and stuff. And I'm like,
He's just sitting there in like he's like in the direct center. Everyone's just talking, and you're like, you stand out.
He's up to something. He's up to something that guy.
Don't know what, but you're up to something.
So that was I like that one. That one I would call high meh on that one. I thought it was pretty fun.
That's fair. I gave that a meh because I feel like after like the high off of Yo-Yo and Ninja Mac, I was like big two meaty guys beating each other up, trying to overpower each other. Classic.
Yeah.
Was pleased.
Definitely.
You talking about New Japan? I need to get back to New Japan's U.S. promotion because I used to watch it a lot and then I just fell off of it and I haven't watched it in a minute.
Strong is really good now, especially because they have crowds, so you get to have that.
They have crowds back. Yeah, when I watched it, there was no crowds.
Yeah, there were no crowds on Strong. Yeah, Strong started as like just an excuse to pay the dudes who were stuck in America, do a couple empty arena wrestling shows and things like that. It had great energy about it, though. It was that kind of 3 matches, 1 backstage segment. That's it. You know, it was that kind of show. It's a breeze to watch, and especially now that what they've started doing is doing like 1 show a month, like a 4-hour show, and just breaking it into 4-hour-long chunks and spreading it throughout the month.
That's smart.
Really good stuff. And every match has a really good like main event. So you'll get like once a month you get the United States of J Open Challenge. So Jay White calls out somebody, and you get like we had recently Jay versus Swerve, which was really good. That one was.
That must have been that had to be good.
A really good match with Jay and Jay White and Jay Lethal was really good. So you'll get some really tasty stuff like that mixed in. You'll also get great Tom Lawler matches. Dickinson's on there a lot. So like just dudes who you like to see be beefy men are on that show.
I'm so surprised that Lawler's still the champ because I was like, that guy was the first champ and he's held that shit still. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to lose it a couple of times along the way. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they have Dickinson challenge him again and win. Dickinson, like people at New Japan are really high up on Dickinson. And if he's not coming over to Japan anytime soon, which God, I hope he is, Dickinson for G1, please.
That'd be so good.
He's so good. But yeah, if he's not going to Japan anytime soon, belt that man up. Give him something. He's a monster, and I love him.
Agreed. So, going off, funnily enough, now we're talking about New Japan, we then have Alex Coughlin against Slade.
Okay, I don't know Slade, but he looks like the baddest dude in the yard in the prison movie.
Exactly. This guy, and like another GCW show is like, from Rikers Island. I'm like, yep, that tracks
Makes
from
sense.
prison.
Makes sense.
This guy literally had a look of just, he seemed like he never blinked. Shirt off. He's like, and the announcer's like, he's not here to submit you. He's here to beat you up. That's it.
Coughlin,
okay.
Coughlin is, I can't say enough about Alex Coughlin. Like, I've watched him from when he first started at LA Dojo. I love what he is now. He's like, the baddest in the land and all that is man. That's, that's the thing. He's got that freak, like John Cena freak strength.
Yeah.
Where he could suplex a truck, I love him. So at Bloodsport 7, when he used one arm to lift Lawler above his head. Oh God, dude, like Alex Coughlin I do believe that Coughlin is Gaelic for can throw a man over a mountain. Oh my God. He's so good. I love Alex Coughlin so much. So I was definitely high on this one.
I was like, yes, the senior of LA Dojo in the New Japan. It came out. I was like, okay, what's this match? A lot of this is just these two beating the shit out of each other. Like, Coughlin was like, all right, let's wrestle. And Slade's like, let me beat you up. And Coughlin was like, fine, sit down then. And he would just, he'd always like get around Slade with like some like technique or training. And then Slade would just be like, would just power through it, like not even sell it. He'd be like, I'm going to kill you. It's like fucking Terminator.
Slade definitely could take a beating. I think Coughlin obviously has the training, like you mentioned. He's got the finesse that he was able to really weather that storm. There was really nothing Slade could do. I mean, he would like the finish is a great. He would rear naked choke him after a German suplex. So deadlift German to rear naked choke, and Slade was just out. There's nothing he could do. He might have weathered that storm and got up and tried to punch Coughlin a couple of times, and then Coughlin's like, okay, I'm gonna roll with that punch and throw you like a sack of potatoes.
Yep,
it was great.
I like how when Slade woke up after he got choked out, he started to swing around and like try to fight the ref for a second.
He's still fighting.
It's like, fuck, I lost. Fuck your handshake. Leaves.
I mean, yeah, when you get beat up in the prison movie, you don't stick around to shake the dude's hand.
Yeah, you really don't even wake up. You're just out.
That's true. I was really high on this one. I marked out. I love Alex Coughlin. 5 out of 5 for me.
Nice. I gave this match a high meh. I was really high on this match as well. Not as much of a markup, but I was like, this match fuck. I'm like, I fuck with this match a lot.
Word.
Like I said, beat the shit out of each other. I'm all for it. Now we've got, I was actually really excited when this match got announced. We've got John Hennigan, or as the crowd dubbed him afterwards, Johnny Bloodsport.
Johnny Bloodsport.
Versus Simon Gotch, a regular at Bloodsport. It feels like Gotch is in every Bloodsport I watch. But
yeah, Gotch is he's no stranger to it, is he? He's always been into that sort of thing, that sort of worked shoot style, like, throwback style wrestling. It's really cool, and I was really excited to see if Hennigan's training and his background could translate into a stripped down Bloodsport style. Hennigan is so smooth.
Oh, ridiculously
he's always been so smooth. So it was really cool to see how he would transition, his moves one into the next, using the chain wrestling. That's something you have to use in Bloodsport because you can't rely on ropes. So that was really cool. And
it's funny we talk about Eddie Gordo because I watched this. I was like, I know that he's trained in capoeira because they were like in WWE. They're like, oh, he's like capoeira. So when I heard this, I was like, please tell me you're actually going to do capoeira. And this match was just his style because like you'd see him like just run forward, like what are you doing? And then suddenly he would just flip back and sweep his leg out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's sick. And then you got Gotch, who would rather slap him in the face and choke him out and call him a cunt right in front of him.
Hennigan is he's too fast and wily, man. That's his whole thing. I think it's unfair. There are some people that can do anything, and it's really just unfair because Hennigan, he looks like $1 million. He's a handsome dude. He's got this ripped body. He can act. He can wrestle. He can literally. If he said that he wanted to play professional ice hockey tomorrow, I wouldn't doubt again that he couldn't do it. He can do anything, and it's really unfair, and it makes me kind of angry.
Yeah, dude, it's just like ridiculous. He just, like I say, he's just a natural. Finish this match was good too. Yeah.
It was a guillotine choke from Hennigan.
Yeah, he locked him in with his legs after he ducked one of Gotch's punches or forearms, I believe, because they were forearming each other in the face. And I was like, yes, give me Bloodsport. And then he got guillotined. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, I had to go high man on this. I was really into it. It wasn't my favorite, but like, I definitely am excited to see Hennigan more. I know that he's kind of a, he's had that long run in WWE. He had a long run in Impact and things like that. And so you kind of think of him as more of a gimmick, but like the dude's got chops. That was a lot of fun.
He does. And it was a very fun match. I'm also going to go in the high meh. Wasn't my favorite match, like you said, but I was really entertained by this. It lived up to my expectations. And part of me is like, maybe one day I'll actually try to learn capoeira because that actually looks pretty cool if you can actually pull that off.
Yeah. Tons of fun. And like, how he can keep his center of balance and like shift his weight to know where he's going to end up in these moves, these throws, these submissions and things like that. Super cool. Good for him.
Very cool. So after that, we've got Marina Shafir versus Zeta Zhang. Never heard of Zeta. Have heard of Marina.
So I like Zeta Zhang. I've been following her for a few years now. She was in the first Mae Young Classic tournament.
Oh, she was?
Yeah. She went out in the first round, but she had a fun showing against I think it was Shayna Baszler. Yeah, I I gotta say, I didn't feel confident in her chances the second they said that she had called out Marina Shafir. She's an accomplished kickboxer. Marina is a monster. So like
Marina is a monster.
There's lots of fire in the match. They were doing a really great job of conveying a personal hatred in like a real sport environment, big scary quotation fingers, real sport environment.
Yeah, real sport.
And Marina just had every counter. Zeta looked game, and Marina just had ice water in her veins the whole time. She was confident, she was educated, and it was just easy win for Marina Shafir. I don't know why you would call out someone like Marina Shafir if it's your first run at Bloodsport, dude. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm glad it wasn't me, because I was like, yeah, a lot of this was just Shafir. Like, there were so many times these two would like brawl with each other, and like they would come out, and Marina would be like, all right, yeah, come on, keep going, and Zeta just like could not get much on her.
No.
Marina was she schooled her.
It was
arm triangle, easy win.
It was pretty gnarly. It was pretty gnarly.
I will agree, though. I did like that they conveyed that the fact these two do not like each other like at all. Like, I think within the first couple minutes of this match, these two are out of the ring beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and
I was like,
that's kind of where I wish Zeta would have kept it. Like I said, she's a kickboxer, so maybe the striking would have been better for her. But again, striker versus a wrestler.
Yeah, you don't go to the ground ever. It's not a good idea against a wrestler,
especially not one as good as Marina Shafir.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give this match a meh.
I'm gonna say low meh on it. I was pretty amped for it because I like Zeta Zhang and I like Marina Shafir, but I didn't think the ending was ever in doubt for me. So she never made me believe. She never made me believe that she was gonna pull something off.
Aw, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but the match after this. Oh boy, the match after this.
Yeah, this was a good
JR Kratos versus Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, it's so good to see Thatcher again, wasn't it?
I was so fucking happy to see him and his gnarled, toothy face back. I was like, yes, let's fucking go.
Yeah, Bloodsport's where Timothy Thatcher belongs. Like,
oh, he's at home here, 100%.
Yeah.
Crowd loved him.
Oh, they sure did.
He had a blast in the ring during this match.
He really did. I think the coolest spot of the match for me, though, was a JR Kratos spot where he, at one point, sees his own blood from a strike and just goes nuts. That was so much fun.
Yeah. Fucking got up, he decked him with that meaty lariat. I was like, oh, shit.
He just goes
like,
ham.
Okay. Yeah,
that
he got
great.
Busted the fuck open, dude. I think that was like after the headbutt from Thatcher.
Yes. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, shit. All right, we got some blood. That's not like from the mouth.
Yeah, he ended it with a big pile driver and then like a huge like Superman punch on the ground, was it?
Yeah, he like sat up and he jumped up and just fucking slammed his entire arm into his face and just knocked him the hell out.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good.
Crowd,
that was beefy. Crowd hated it.
I loved it. Crowd booed the hell out of him.
Oh, they hated JR Kratos, but
flipped everyone off. Team Filthy's big man's like, go fuck all of yourselves. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Team Filthy was having a hell of a showing there. With Royce Isaacs and then JR Kratos winning. So that was a lot of fun. JR Kratos, like, he slowly grew on me. I thought like he kind of looked like a dork when he first showed up in New Japan Strong. Man, I'd love to see him show up and go to, I'd love to see all of Team Filthy just end up in Japan at some point. It would be really cool if they just took the entire stable and just plopped them into Japan for 3 months or something.
Team Filthy versus the Empire?
I'm into it. I'm into Team Filthy versus the Empire. Team Filthy versus Suzuki-gun would be hilarious.
Oh, that
like,
would be.
Tom Lawler and Minoru Suzuki. Mm-hmm.
I just like the idea of like the two most angry people. One is a Yakuza and the other one is just the redneck Tom Lawler with like his like he's just hillbilly as hell. He's like, I will beat the shit out of you. And Suzuki's like, well, come on then.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Man, I was torn on this one because I was like, I really liked it, but did I love it?
I'm gonna say I didn't love it. I think I would have liked it to go a little bit longer. I would have liked for Thatcher to have a little bit more of a showing. It was really more of a showcase for JR Kratos, which I'm into. But being a big welcome back for Timothy Thatcher, I would have liked to have had him maybe have a little bit more of a control period. So I'm gonna go with a high meh on it.
I think I'm going to agree with you here because I think when I made this rating, I was blinded by the fact that I was just happy Timothy Thatcher is back.
Yeah.
I was just like I had Thatcher got. I was like, oh, he's back. Let's go.
Yeah. I can understand that completely.
Match is still really good though. I also I don't think Thatcher got up after he got decked in the face. So he just laid on the ground. I was like, yeah, that'll sell Kratos' offense if Thatcher ain't getting up.
Yes.
Fuck it, hell. Oh, yes. Okay, so after this match, we got Speedball Mike Bailey in his first match, I believe, of the collective.
Oh, his first of 9?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my
Holy fuck.
God.
Yeah, I was talking with Mikey. I was like, there's always one weekend warrior, I like to call it, that does like every fucking show in the collective, and Mike Bailey was it for me. I was like, you're everywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing about Mike Bailey. He's so excited to finally be able to work in America that he was just like, I'm going to work and I'm going to work. So
yeah, he's like all the dates. And he's going up against Yuya Uemura, who I was like, I remember you.
Yeah.
When I watched New Japan, I had a period where I watched New Japan and New Japan Strong, and I'm like, you're fucking Chaos Guy's young line. I remember you.
Yeah, Yuya Uemura he's the future, man. I cannot say enough good words about Yuya Uemura. He's a 5-tool player. He's got the body, he's got the look, he's got the ability, he's got the mind for the business, and he's got the charisma. The dude is going to be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Ooh,
I'm going to say less
claim.
than 5 years from now.
Damn, that is a bold claim. But I'm happy to hear it, because I remember when I first saw him, I was like, you very much give me the impression of someone who is learning still under New Japan. I'm like, we'll see where you get to. And when he showed up here, and I was like, okay, let's see what you got. And I enjoyed this match. Decided to go yeah, we're not going to go hard hitting all the time. We're going to play a lot of cat and mouse with each other. Really try to learn the other one's style before we go balls to the walls to the last fourth of the match, I think I call it.
Mm-hmm. The whole match, Speedball was just throwing accurate, fast, and deadly kicks. He was shaking Yuya every time he'd hit one of those kicks. You just see the dude go, oh fuck, all right.
Okay. It was like he was preparing his body for Mike Bailey's hits. He's like, okay, this guy likes to kick a lot.
Yeah, he had some nasty welts on his ribs and things like that from Speedball's kicks.
Yeah.
And Yuya was eating strikes and got in a lot of trouble. But he showed that heart and that power and intensity and pulled one out with an armbar. That was some really good Katsuyori Shibata training coming out for him there.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember I wrote down, it's one of the smoothest transitions to a Fujiwara I've ever seen. He dropped him to the mat and he was like, your arm is now mine.
Yeah, I'm taking this, I'm putting it above my fireplace.
Yep, above my fireplace. It's the trophy on my wall. I was very much a fan of this. It's funny how for this match, it wasn't like Ninja Mac and Yo-Yo where they were flying or anything. This match, I was I appreciate the fact that both of you respect each other enough that a lot of this match is you trying to figure each other out. But then when you fought each other, you just were kneeing each other in the face, and I was all in.
Yeah, Yuya's got one of those chameleonic abilities to just copy whatever someone else is doing and throw it back into their face. So if you want to go power for power, he can do that. If you want to go fast, he can do that. If you want to trade strikes, he can do that. He's a very adaptive wrestler, and I appreciate that about him.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this match a high meh.
I was super into it. I'm going to go straight to mark out. Yuya Uemura he's always top tier for me. And seeing Speedball Mike Bailey again in America, I was amped on it.
So nice to have him back. So then we get yes, I remember this match now. Going off of that, we then get Josh Barnett versus Jonah.
I unabashedly love Jonah. I was this is gonna rule. I'm amazed. I'm so happy. I love Jonah. Jonah Rock is the fucking man. So I was
really sad when he got taken out from NXT and people were like, he's not ever gonna go anything higher. I'm like, I like Jonah a lot though.
Yeah. No, he's awesome. I was really into this big ass heavyweight fight. Big throws, big bombs, tons of fun. I was excited.
I came into this, I was like, okay, what are you going to do? And a lot of this match, I felt like Josh Barnett was just underneath Jonah, which, I mean, fair enough. That is Jonah's strength. His size is he's just going to smother you.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And it was a lot of this match. And I was not the biggest fan of it after a little bit, because I was like, okay, I get it. Josh Barnett is older and can't get him off of him, but come on, Josh, do something. Come on.
You're Josh Barnett. You could literally tear this guy's fucking arm off.
Exactly. And then finally he did. He hulked up after he got hit in the face, and then he just headbutted him in the face, and I was like, yes, Thank you.
The modified like half crab heel hook thing that he put in.
Oh, that was nasty
awesome.
as fuck.
So
Loved
cool.
it. Oh God.
Yeah,
I was like,
I wish it could have been a little bit more impactful of an introduction to this audience for Jonah. I think Jonah is the real deal. He might just not be a shoot style wrestler. He might be someone who needs that. He needs the pro wrestling environment and not the shoot style to get ahead. So I'm into it. It's fine. If not everybody can be someone that Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is built for.
Yeah, exactly. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is a very unique flavor of wrestling. And it's some people are cut out for it, and some people it's not the best fit for them, which is fine. I think in the end I gave this match a meh because while I didn't love how slow it was at times, the ending plus a couple of the other spots when Barnett started to fight back was like, okay, you made me work for Barnett's comeback, and it helps the match.
I'll give it the same. I think the end of the match saved what could have been a low meh, and made it into a perfect middle of the road 3 out of 5 basically. So I'm into it.
Well, now we've gotten past all the rest of the matches in this card. We're now about to hit the second to last match. One of the matches everyone was talking about this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Biff Busick versus Jon Moxley.
This is the one. So my neighbor, she's an E-Fed and she likes AEW. And so I send her little snippets of like New Japan stuff and Rev Pro shows and things like that we want to go to, and I'm always sending her little things because like anytime that Moxley appears in an indie show, I know she loves Moxley. So like this one is one I sent to her. I was like, hey, you remember that guy Oni Lorcan? I like him. Want to see him face Mox in like a shoot fight? And she's like, yes, I do. So I was really excited about this one. When they announced this one, I got to have a good moment with my neighbor. We had a little celebration, really ready to go for this one.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh man, I love this match. Yeah. I really did.
It was really good. So when Moxley comes out, the Blackpool Combat Club gear is sick.
It's amazing.
It's so good. It should still be called Regal Goon.
Regal Goon.
But I'm into Blackpool Combat Club. I want a t-shirt so badly.
I know they only sell jackets and sweatshirts, and I'm like, can you just make like a t-shirt that I can buy, man? Come on.
Eventually, I'm sure.
Eventually, this match is great. It was already great before Busick got his head cut open and he gushed blood out his fucking skull.
He was a mess.
Dude, there are so many pictures online of Busick, and he looks like a straight up like a serial killer, like just blood pouring down his face. He looks like a demon. That was it. I was like, this man was like a fucking demon you'd see in a nightmare.
It's true. I was actually amazed that Moxley was imposing his will more than I thought he would have during the match. Mm-hmm. I know that Moxley is supposed to be this like all or nothing fighter and things like that, but like Busick he's a wrestler, and he should have been able to withstand that from Moxley a little bit and like give it out a little bit more. Yeah. I know that Moxley's whole persona is that he's a wild man and things like that, and you can't really control where he's coming at you from and all this stuff, but like he was really controlling the match a lot more than I thought he would.
I actually so in my head canon, I was like, I'm gonna go with the fact that he took lessons from Regal and Danielson because he used several of Danielson's moves in this match. And I was like, which is why he's a lot more commanding now, because before he was a wild man, now he's got Regal and Danielson to, I guess, train with again or work off of. That it's like their influences have gone onto him now. Like when he pulled out the foot stomp, I was like, holy fucking shit, you're using the foot stomp, you fucking.
That was monstrous too. That image of like Busick broken and bleeding and Moxley just stomping him. Oh, that was gnarly. That was Bloodsport to me. Mm-hmm.
Then, oh my god, like then Biff was like, okay, fine, and he stomped his face and put him in a bulldog. I was like, you fucking stole his finisher, you madman.
Yeah, 100%. This match all over the place was just it. It was fucking it, dude. This was, I think, the best match of the show, which which sucks for me because the one I was really looking forward to was the main event. But this one really stole it for me. I'm not a huge fan of either of these guys. I like Moxley a lot. I don't really. I mean, Busic's not someone I really know, but like this was the match for me. The pain and the torment that they were able to put each other through was sealed it for me.
So good. Like a lot of these matches have like slashes for like, oh, maybe I'll give it this. Maybe this one was like a definitive mark out. There was not even a question in my. I finished it and I was like, that was that match of the night. Yeah,
5 out of 5 mark out for me. It should have been the final match of the night.
Oh yeah. Oh, the ending of this match was so fucking good.
Really was. It really was. That knee strike.
The knee strike. I was like, that's a Psycho knee. You can't convince me otherwise. Fucking motherfucker Psycho kneed him. Knocked his ass out. I was like, I love this match.
It was great.
Every time Biff wrestled after this, I had a couple of these. He just had his head just kept getting cut open.
Poor guy.
I was like, oh, you definitely cut yourself a bit too deep there.
A little bit much, but it added so much to the match. It really wouldn't have been the same.
Did.
Wouldn't have been the same without it.
Like if you took like the blow up his face or some of these like images, because like Moxley, let us not forget Moxley, like he just committed a mass murder of people. Like he was covered in blood at that point.
Yeah. Moxley looked like an absolute wild man. He looked like in the werewolf movie when the dude wakes up after a night of like running around killing deer and stuff, and he's wandering in the woods like covered in blood. That's what Moxley looked like. He looked like a dude who just transformed from a werewolf to a human.
He's like, well, that guy's dead.
Yep.
Fuck it.
He's dead. All right, moving on.
Walks off. Oh, man. Now, let us get to the main event.
Yes.
Minoru Suzuki and Chris Dickinson.
So, I love Chris Dickinson.
Yep.
I mean,
Dirty Daddy.
He's the
Big
man.
fan over here, too.
And I love how much he respects people like Suzuki, the elder New Japan statesman, you know? And he wants to test himself against them. And that's a cool storyline for him to follow. And I hope that it brings him to Japan soon. Again, Dickinson for G1. Hashtag that shit.
Yeah.
It's so good to see Dickinson back.
It really is.
Like, I was so scared after that accident that he had that shredded his hip. You know?
Oh my God.
One of my favorite sports personalities when I was growing up was a dude named Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was he was a center fielder for the Kansas City Royals. That's my baseball team. He was also a running back for the Los Angeles Raiders. And that hip injury is what ended Bo Jackson's career. So when they said that he had the same injury that Bo Jackson had, I was like, oh my God, Dickinson's done.
Yeah, you got like fucking Vietnam War flashbacks of like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, no, not again.
No, please.
But yeah, no, it was so good to see Dickinson come back. And it was funny because you could see it in his face too, that he was so amped to be back. And they made that part of the story. Like, it looked like he was too amped and he just wasn't thinking his movements through, and Suzuki was making him pay for it. Yeah. In the early spots of the match.
Yeah, Suzuki was like laughing at him half the early spots of this match. He was like, "This fucking guy, the fuck you doing?
Yeah,
the fuck out my face, forearm in the face."
And a lot of people in the know will just say they complain about how Suzuki like phones in his fights in America. Oh, all he does is he pulls funny faces and he does forearm exchanges. He hits you really hard in the spots where it doesn't hurt as much, and he makes funny faces. And while that might be true sometimes, that's not what this was. This was a fight. He gave a ton to Dickinson, and I think there's respect there. Like, Dickinson fights through those exchanges and hits mean throws and just starts raining elbows down on Suzuki, and the ref has to stop it. But this was more than just a fight for Suzuki. You know, he represented something that Dickinson couldn't overcome for so long. And then Dickinson fights through this injury, and not only does he overcome this injury, he then overcomes the next obstacle in his way. Like, the dude's he's on a roll right now.
Yep. Oh yeah. I very much like that. Like, this match, like I said, it played into it because like Suzuki for the beginning of this match did not treat him like equal. He's like, I beat your ass last time.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of my ring. And by the end of the match, he was like, okay, might be on my level. Got to start popping out the elbows.
Yeah.
He had no defense of the kicks, though, in this match. Like, every time they're fighting, Dickinson would just kick him in the leg, and he'd be like, no defense. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Murder Grandpa's about to get murdered.
Yeah, Dickinson with that hard body karate, dude. You can't fuck with it, dude. The man's
No,
a
you
machine.
cannot.
He's a lethal fucking weapon. So
It was, oh my god, this crowd booed him, I think, after this too, because they wanted Suzuki to win. He's like, fuck all of you. I won. I'm back, motherfucker.
I don't know how you can boo that man. Like, I don't know, like, if I'll ever be able to just boo Chris Dickinson. I love the guy.
Do it. I get the like loving Suzuki, but like I love them both too much to boo either one of them.
Yeah.
Unless Suzuki's got to be the heel in the feud, in which case I will boo him just because, respect your good heels and boo them.
Right. But at that point, Dickinson wasn't the heel, man. I don't know why.
No, he wasn't. He was just he just wanted to get his redemption.
Yeah, and he sure did, man. That was a hell of a match.
I was not anticipating Suzuki to get knocked out at all. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I think it just shows the absolute like lethality of Dickinson right now, like the training that he's had to go through, where he can just throw you, and before you even know what's happening, he's on top of you, raining down elbow strikes. And yeah, you have no choice. You can't even cover up at that point. You have to pray for someone else to stop the match for you. Like, he's just absolute. He's a fucking coiled cobra, dude. He's ready to go.
Like that. That's a good name. Yeah. So what'd you end up giving this match?
This one I was very high on. I'd give this a mark out. I was really into it. The energy surrounding the match brought it up for me. It would have probably been a high meh because the ending came a little bit too fast. I would have liked them to have a few more minutes.
Yeah.
But there was so much energy, like for Dickinson and his absolute like chutzpah coming through in the actual match itself. So I was into it. I was there 5 out of 5.
I was torn on this rating, and then you gave me the story about him wanting to do his redemption, and I was like, all right, you sold me.
Yeah.
Take a mark out too. Take it. Easy.
Aces. Yeah, I still think it probably should have been the semi-main, and we should have let Moxley and Biff Busick finish it. It was a better match in my opinion, but I think they were both great.
Yeah, I had a really good time with this match. Honestly, the pay-per-view in general was great. It was a very good showing for Bloodsport.
It was really easy to watch. It wasn't overly long. There was no other bullshit that you had to tend with like interruptions or anything like that. You could watch the match, done. Watch the match, done. And it was only 8-9 matches.
Yep, something like that.
It was great. It was easy to watch. It was easy to digest. It was quick, and it got every point that it needed across in a stripped down manner, just like the stripped down nature of the fights themselves. Bloodsport's great.
Oh my god! Every year it comes up with the collective. It's like I must watch. It could be like 4 matches. And I'd be like, I'm still watching it.
Yep. Like when you guys were talking about, oh, who wants to help us cover the collective stuff? I was just like, yeah, me. I want Bloodsport. let me cover Bloodsport. I love that shit.
That was literally me when I was picking people. I was like, who do I want to talk with? And I was like, I haven't talked to Curtis ever. And I was like, oh, he picked Bloodsport. I'm like, oh, that's the easiest thing I've ever played. Like, he loves Bloodsport. I love Bloodsport.
Yeah. And it's coming across probably because we're so excited. We're like, I feel like we're rushing through this. We've only been on for like 40 minutes now or something. It feels like it's been like 20. Because we're just like, right? oh my god.
I know, right, dude? We're just flying through. Like, I looked at the ties. I noticed. I was like, holy fuck, we're like 30 minutes in, and we're already like we're more than halfway through. But I'm having a blast. Yeah. I had a blast talking with you about this. Like, it's Mikey likes Mikey's Bloodsport isn't his preferred style of wrestling, though he does appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, this type of conversation is something that I can only get with Ryan, usually, or I could have only got with Ryan when it was just the 3 of us. So I'm glad to have more people that I can talk with this type of wrestling about that love this as much as I do.
For sure, man. Yeah, like I have a podcast called the Smart Foundation, which is not on the Countout Network, but that podcast alone is one where I talk about all kinds of wrestling and not just New Japan. My co-host on there is very much into the showman aspect of wrestling. He's really into like the WWE, things like that. And like, I'm really not into that. We just had a long discussion today about WrestleMania, and he was sticking up for the guest stars and things like that. He was sticking up for the spectacle, and I was trying to, ask him for more of the substance. And I think that's really the peanut butter and jelly of that show. Yep. So I completely understand the dynamic that you're going for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fun though, because once you get, like I said, when the peanut butter and jelly, when it mixes though, and you get like both aspects of it, it's the fucking best feeling in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Definitely.
God. Yeah. So Bloodsport, great fucking showing. Watch it if you get the collective. It is one of the highlights for me. The best other one being World on Lucha, in my opinion.
I haven't watched World on Lucha yet. I'm still playing catch up from all of that time. It's funny because I've had COVID for a few days now, and I was just like, I can sit down and just watch all the wrestling.
Oh, dude, that must be. I had to watch this while it was happening because I was like, I have like almost all the shows on here to watch, so I'm just gonna do them as they happen, so that way I don't have to do it afterwards. And like, some of these at 1 a.m. were rough.
Oh, I bet.
But World on Lucha was like, oh my god, World on Lucha. I watched it. And I was like, that entire card, fuck, loved every fucking match.
Nice. I'll have to check that out.
Yep, you can hear me and Mikey gush about it on, I believe, Sunday's release when we do the Indy Waters, the actual Indy Waters episode. Because I believe Friday is when this episode comes out. It'll be my episodes. Mikey's have already come out at this point. And then we have ours is just the two of us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we have it's a big crossover. This is like our Infinity War, if you will, of the network for us. Everyone comes in for like a one movie thing, and then they all disperse back to their corners.
I like it, man. It was really cool. It was a really cool idea for you. You know, you put out there like to reach out to the other podcasters in your podcastiverse. The Count Out Network seems like a really fun. I would say it's a really fun collective, if you pardon the pun. But
there we go.
I really dig it, man. Everybody seems to have a really good time on there, and yeah, I'm having a great time being part of it.
Well, I'm glad to have you, and welcome to the network.
Yeah, I'm not the new guy anymore.
Yeah. All right. Before we go off, you got any plugs for the people?
Oh, I've got so many plugs, dude.
Go ahead.
So
it's yours.
I'll go ahead and plug my Instagram, eldestructo83. Same with my Twitter. You can find me on. Oh, goodness gracious. I do this because I have 3 different podcasts, so I have to figure out which one I'm on and plug the other 2. And now I'm like, oh shit, I got to plug all 3 of them. Okay. So first off, Count Out Network comes first. Okada Shorts Podcast, where we talk New Japan Pro Wrestling. Me and my friend Rafe Houston from the Faces and Feels cast. Check him out as well. That's all about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it's 100% awesome. And there'll be a new episode this week.
Top tier name, by the way.
Yeah, the best. Secondly, you can hear my other wrestling podcast where we talk about the peanut butter and jelly, like we said, with my friend Shane Campbell on the Smark Foundation Wrestling Podcast. You can also find me. I have a third podcast called Throwin' Dice, which is all about tabletop wargaming, tabletop role playing. So if you like Warhammer 40K, Dungeons and Dragons, anything like that, that's what we talk about. Anything where you move models around on the table and throw dice at them, that's what we're all about. And those are my podcasts where you can listen to me rant about things I love.
Hey. Well, everybody, that concludes this special episode. Thanks to you for listening, and I'll see you Sunday.
Boom.
Boom.
This has been a Count Out Podcast.